is just another day. It's not like church day. Sunday is just another day.
Just the bank is closed.
Even government places are open on Sunday. It's like, what? But
I worked third shift for about 2 years, and it was just me, overnight, running the lathes. Nobody to worry about but myself, turn on the stereo and knock out.
see, I did that for an insurance company. I backed up their computers overnight. I was there all by myself. Because I did used to sleep under the desks when I had that.
Jason was kind enough to draw my character too, but it's on my other device, so
I still have the pictures. I can put them up. Cobb didn't see them, did you?
I saw the ones you drew of your guy.
Yeah, I drew. I'll post them up there. I drew.
And then I see there's one here that it looks like Pick put up.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Oh,
Is
I
that what I
see.
sent you, Randy?
I should have figured that. I should have figured that out on my
I on
own.
there, artwork by Jason, so yes.
Yeah, I should have figured that out on my own. But
I don't think my style's pretty.
well, the weapons he has is what I should have known. Okay. So
Why? I don't get that.
we're live now, so don't say anything you don't want anyone to know. First of all, welcome. This is episode 39 of the World of Skell, Ghosts, Live Dungeons and Dragons. On Facebook on Wednesday, on YouTube on Thursday, and forever on after that. And we got Randy. Say hi, Randy.
Hello.
He's in the bottom screen here. And then we have on the top left, we got Daryl.
Hello.
And then on the top right, we have Jason's chin strap mustache.
That's my Ox Baker special.
Yes. And
Ox Baker's great.
the story so far has centered around a group of people brought together by the man of Tila. A man who apparently is powerful. He goes by the name The Man. Nobody knows his name, apparently. So, he's brought them together, and they have gone on quests and adventures. Hey, look at that. Jason drew Daryl's character, which we will get to those in a second. And those characters went on adventures, and one left because he made a choice that cost the group's ward slash healer slash the high priest of the Blend Temple in the city there, his son. And then he was promptly punished, and or something was happened to him when he went back to, I guess, admit his fault. So that character is nowhere around. Don't know if he's alive or dead. Another character is gone, but we will get to that at another time. And the group of adventurers, they have rescued or freed slaves from two different places in this republic, the Republic of Saskatchewan. They went to a cave of madness with this crazy creature that was in there, and they defeated it. And then at the monastery, the crazy creature, or the same one, or a different one, or for those of you that understand the very nature of the dreaded Aboleth 2nd edition rules, by the way, might understand how it could be in two places at once. And then, and they freed a Akireman. So there was some death and destruction there as well, but it righted itself over the course of a few adventures. And then they went off to take out another slaver operation, and they defeated that one. And so now those characters are currently, I'm not sure if they've fully decided on what their next path or goal will be.
Sorry.
But since one of the parts of the adventure was left mostly unexplained, I thought that it would be a neat thing to start tonight's adventure attempting to explain it. So, obviously Randy's gone for now he works for the water company, and when there's a break in the line he's got to go. Hopefully he'll come on at some point. But we have a couple of new characters, actually 3 to be precise. And so, according to their backstories that they have given me, they all have reason to be in the area. They all have ties to the area, and the exploits of the group of adventurers fighting the slaves has caught their attention through various means. So, what I would like to do is start off with a little scene setting. And that would be a Polak, a Jew, and a black guy walk into a bar. No.
But
Not that. But a soldier, a knight, and a barbarian walk into a bar. Although this is not a bar, this is at the monastery. And they have all traveled there to learn of the exploits after hearing through the grapevine what those exploits were for the freeing of the monastery and of the surrounding lands. And these must be some heroes to have been able to accomplish this. And then they all learned that this same group of heroes went north to try and they went with a member of the Blend's Holy Knights, the Order of the Paladin, if you will. And they decided to go with him north to another slaver's outpost that this knight had heard about and even investigated, but decided it might not be a good idea to take on an entire fort by himself. So, he was asked to join this group, and he had previously talked to them and said that he was interested in lending aid and that he had a place to go if they were interested. So their willful intent on endangerment and his belief in the higher power of goodness, and they joined forces and they went north to the fort. And to most people who were of a seafaring variety or lived near the area or perhaps had been there before, it was called the Deep Water Fort. And until the characters got there, it wouldn't have been apparent to them what that even meant. And even upon seeing a three-masted sailing ship docked so close to shore, none of them had the knowledge or the training to understand that for a ship that size to be that close to shore, there would have to be a very deep harbor. So it was a very simple explanation, and it was a nice place for slaves to get on and off the ship. So, but now our scene shifts as they come together along the way. We can skip past all of the awkward, hey, what are you doing here, and why would I go talk to that guy? And we will proceed to the part where they have already been introduced to each other and told about this exploit that told about the exploits of this other group, and that it would probably be a good idea to, if they were interested in stopping slaving, to join them. Apparently that's something that these people agreed upon. So, what I will say is, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Daryl, since you're on the top of the screen here, could you please introduce your character?
My character name is Boris Crump. I'm looking for my sister. He is a bronze skin barbarian with a wolf hide cowl. He carries a spear and a boomerang and a couple pouches on his belt. Wears a loincloth. Got a boyish grin and a mischievous look in his eye. Mama has told me to just keep running.
Okay. And what does he look, give us a basic idea of his physicality. Is he
Tall, muscular,
tall,
lean.
muscular? Okay.
He's about 6'4". He's young, in his 20s. Like I said, boyish looking face. Lots of energy at times, and other times you might find him sitting against a tree just staring off at nothing. He's not a very smart man.
Does he have the general appearance of someone that might be not from a big city?
Yes. He's wearing a wolf skin, a wolf hide cowl, and a loincloth. Not wearing any shirt or pants.
Oh, there he is.
Got a couple of axes in his belt, a boomerang, a spear.
All right.
Looks like somebody who's lived out in the sun.
All right. And next, Jason, would you please introduce your character?
My character's name is Guy de Lamps, Sir Guy de Lamps, a cavalier, a knight, a professional warrior. Since he could stand up, he was on a horse or swinging a sword, and he's done that all his life. He's had several campaigns under his belt, even though he's young. So I mean, in a knight of that era would probably do that. So appearance-wise, he's a tank. I have, first of all, here he is in his full armor. That's his shield, by the way. That's the symbol on his shield,
Raise it up a
representing.
little, please. There you go, down a little. There it is. The hawk's head.
The green boar's head represents the weird boar that was slain by his uncle And the little golden fireball above it is the Order of the Golden Flame, which is the order that Guy is a member of. There's some more Guy. There's his helmet, and that's what he looks like in his face. I figure he looks kind of like a tall, muscly Sean Connery, kind of. Because he's not bad looking. He's tall. You're taller. You're 2 inches taller than I am, so I thought I was going to be a big guy, but you're taller than me. So I ride a big horse. I have a squire or groom, whichever you want to call it, who goes with me everywhere. His name is Paco. He owes me service for a year and a day, and he can if I want to get rid of him, but he's not my slave. I just want to establish that he's not my slave. He is my helper, and I am here. I was sent to investigate, to look into this fortress that we're supposed to go to. I stopped at the monastery and learned of this group of amazing people that apparently beat me to it, so that I'm kind of miffed about that, but they already got there. So much for that glory, but maybe they're all dead and I'll be able to get something out of them. If you've been around me since the monastery, Guy is a snob. Guy tends to talk down to people, but you'll also note that he's not a bully. He's not mean to people, even though he may say mean things. He won't push people around. He won't grab them by the hair or beat them with anything like that. And one of his traits in a conversation is when he's done talking, he'll just turn away. And he doesn't care what you have to say anymore because he's done talking.
That's cool. Boris.
So he does follow chivalric order. He knows his place in the world. He respects authority, but he also realizes that he's an authority over a lot of people. So he can be bossy, but like I said, he's not mean. When he gets to fighting, though, he's very single-minded. That's all he thinks about. When it comes to doing his fighting, he fights. And he does lots of these and thous and arts, and he has the old language. So, and when he really starts to get mad, that's when the Latin comes out. So, I have a bunch of Latin phrases, as you can see on there. I wrote a bunch of Latin phrases on there for him to speak later on. So.
While I get a drink of water, how about if you two have a little preliminary conversation at a table while the monks are going about their business for me?
I need to get moving to find my sister.
Your sister?
We need to find those people.
Is she a slave?
She was taken on a big boat.
Big boat. I don't know much about boats. I've been on them before, and I can swim, but I'm not keen to be on a boat.
Those heroes can help us too. Can help me find my sister.
If they're alive.
Don't say that. You should not say that. She's alive.
Well, I'm not saying your sister. I'm talking about these crazy people that went up there ahead of us.
They're heroes.
That's what they say.
They freed a lot of slaves.
We don't know that. That's why I'm here. To see exactly what happened. I'm also, well, when we get there, I'll have a plan.
You got a pretty horse.
Don't touch my horse.
Let the record show I know how much of a fan Daryl was of the movie, so I am actually looking forward to the fucking stupidity that is going to come out of this guy's mouth. This is going to be good.
I thought it could be fun.
Yeah, don't talk about my horse.
I was just saying.
I understand. My horse's name, by the way, is Hasdrubal.
Has or what?
Hasdrubal.
Oh, like on its mouth?
No. It's all right. It's all right.
I might
call
my
it support. The pretty horse will do.
This soup is pretty good.
It's all right. Monastery fare isn't usually very spicy.
You're from the big city? Are you from Chips?
I'm not from a city. I have an estate that I'm from. I'm from my family has a tower outside of town, but I've been to the city.
My family has land up
Oh, yeah.
north by Jordan.
Hopefully
That's
I would
where
hear
I
it
call
someday.
home.
What are you doing here? You're looking for your sister. You came all this way. How do you know she's here?
She got captured on the coast. They were foraging for food. And soldiers took her on the big boat.
Well, we'll see that they're punished in due time.
Hey,
No matter-
Jason, is there any way you can point the camera at your face? I can't do that. It's just like the bottom
I
half of your
can see
chin.
myself just fine. I guess I'm looking at... Is that better?
There's your face. You can always put the emoji in front of it if you need to.
You asked for it. So
If it suits.
you got a little dog face with the ears.
Okay.
I'm gonna get those heroes to help me free my sister.
Well, I'll help free your sister if she's there.
I appreciate that.
You can count on that.
Mom always said that my little fingers didn't do much on their own, but when they work all together, you better look out for them.
Okay. So, as scintillating as that conversation was, let's move on. Over walks let's see how tall he is. Fairly tall, around 6 feet, 6'1", 5'9", something like that. Fairly well built young man. Wearing chain shirt and coif, and now the picture of him is up. If you could drop that picture just a little bit, there you go. And nice. What's that thing on the sash or whatever that looks like the skull? Does that have a name?
It's his badge for his unit of troops. It's called the Company of Death.
Okay.
It's actually based on a real thing. It's a Google. You can Google the Company of Death.
I don't think he wrote that in his backstory. So.
Well, when I was talking to him earlier in the week, I sent him some photos. I said, pick which one of these you like, and I'll draw your character. You know, I showed him some different uniforms and armor and stuff, and he said, that one. And that was the one he picked. So, and he said he would incorporate that later. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no,
Well,
it's cool.
Even if it's not part of his character, it's got a skull and crossbones on it, but it's kind of intimidating.
No, I like it. I was just wondering if I missed that. So he comes over and sits down at the table with the two of you, and he says, I understand you all are interested in stopping some slavers and going to meet the people who have already started this. May I join you?
That would be great. I'm Boris Crump.
You're a mercenary.
I'm a soldier by trade.
You're a mercenary. I recognize your attire.
Well, my military service is over, and I have to be able to make money. Does that bother you?
No. It's just, well, I wasn't imagining anyone had hired mercenaries to do this kind of work.
Well, nobody paid me to do this. I'm actually interested. I was lately in the employ of one of the higher ups in the city, and he told me about this. He said he would pay me well to help them succeed. I thought that's as good a job as any. My name
Interesting tattoo on your hand.
My name is Nathan Driver, by the way.
Everyone wants to succeed.
And who are you? As he looks at Guy.
I'm Sir Guy de Lance of the Order of the Golden Flame, son of Reynard, in the service of the Earl Ludovico.
It's a lot.
Well, yeah. Is it okay to just call you Guy?
Yes, I would prefer Sir Guy, but I understand.
Well, whenever my actual player shows up, he can decide what he wants to call you. So, but
Guy is fine. No need to be formal.
I always thought Sergey was one word, and he said it was two. Sir.
It is my title, and I've earned it.
so anyway, I don't know if you all know the previous company's way of travel or direction or what have you. As someone who has fought in some skirmishes in the Northwest, I am familiar with this keep by name, and I do
so great.
I do have some idea of how to get there if you're interested.
Well, I'm agreeable
How
to that.
you go?
How about if we, just a suggestion, I would assume, Sir Guy, that a man of your station probably is well equipped at all times and probably doesn't need anything more than to top off your supplies. Would that be correct?
I'm well provisioned, yes.
Well, I was hoping to pick up some things here before heading out. Boris, what about you?
They have a market where they sell the stuff.
Are you of a means that you can get provisions and say we could leave in a day or two?
I can hunt for food.
Yes, I'm ready to leave at any time. I was getting ready when you arrived.
I just need water.
If you're going to the marketplace, mind the pig shit.
What?
Don't step in the pig shit. It's quite abundant.
There's a little funny in that.
Indeed.
All right, so to get past,
I'd like to,
go ahead.
for the
Jason.
record, Guy doesn't walk around in his armor all the time. Guy has I'd like to say, he has regular, nice street clothes, and if anything, he has a leather jerkin that he wears when he's not in his armor.
You can certainly do that.
Okay, so it's considering to have just a leather armor when he's not in his full armor. Like I said, an armored leather vest or whatever, something like that.
So supplies are gathered, plans are made, and on the following day, you all decide to head north to see what all the fuss is about. Is there anything anyone needs to do before you leave the safety of the monastery?
I will trade for
Oh, go ahead,
a water
Daryl.
skin. And I will trade for a water skin and fill it up.
Done.
I'm going to go to the chapel and say a prayer.
Done. All right.
Paco does all the fixing, so Paco's the one getting everything ready.
Sure. That's what your
But
man is
if I
for.
describe Paco, he's a little fat, black-haired, greasy-looking guy. Looks kind of unsavory, but he's not.
Does he always stay with the horse and supplies and all that?
He polishes the armor. He tends the horse. He grumbles a lot, and he also tends to not be around when I look around and need him. He's like somewhere else, but he always gets his job done. So
Good deal. I got to remember about him. I had totally forgot about Paco.
well, he makes himself not seen. He's just there. He knows not to get in the way and step on my feet, basically.
Does he wear a sword or a knife on his belt?
He has a little dagger. He doesn't look to be very militant.
All
And
right.
you've seen him when I've given him an order or told him to go do something. He always mumbles under his breath when he walks off. Always. But he does it and does it well. My armor shines and my horse is healthy. So, and he's a good cook.
On your journey, before we get to the place, are there any of your abilities that you would like to describe that the other characters might notice?
I bet I could beat you in a foot race over there.
Well, I'm not really set up to be running.
What would be, let's switch it up a little bit, what would be one thing that the other characters would notice about your character on the journey north? Like either a personality weird thing or some kind of skill which is either annoyingly useful or doesn't fucking help at all, anything. And I'll start with Nathan. So Nathan, he, you notice that
Can you see me there?
the first night, yes, that's good. The first night that he says, I'll take first watch, and he starts to put the fire out, and then you guys go off to sleep, but then at some point, you all wake up and you see through your tents, there's a shadow as if there were several people outside the tent. And when you poke your head out, you notice that he's got his sword in his sheath, but it's kind of halfway out and it's putting off just enough light like a lamp that he can walk around, and it just kind of makes weird shadows that you weren't expecting. So
I don't have a tent.
that's what you can if you want or not. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm just leaning against a tree when I sleep, like on the ground.
I'll take note of his shiny sword.
Yeah, for sure.
Shiny sword
That's very
is anything besides shine.
Okay, so what about you, Guy? Is there anything about you that they would be like, what the fuck? Either for good or for bad or just,
He is an incredible horseman. He rides ahead often. You've seen him when he whistles, the horse will come. You've seen him to where he nudges the horse's shoulder and he leans down on one leg so he can slide off immediately and be ready for battle. You've seen him where with just a nudge of his knee he can make the horse kick. So it's definitely a war horse, and he's an exempt. In fact, one time just to show off for the barbarian and for Nathan, I rode with my lance, and I lanced a piece of fruit off a tree like it was easy. Also, I'm left-handed, which you've never seen a left-handed knight before, maybe. So I have an eccentric jousting style.
Interesting. Okay. And what about you, Boris?
Well, you notice that Boris often travels on the outer edge of the trail, and he'll stop and just stand there and look with his bow at the ready, and he'll let you guys move on, move ahead. And then occasionally he'll come back with a small game, a rabbit or a squirrel that can be cooked up for the evening dinner. But even though sometimes you're like, where'd he go? How long? Is he going to catch up? And then all of a sudden he's right next to you. Like, well, how's it go with it? He catches up really fast. And so, sometimes it's surprising. And Guy, when you're riding, you actually notice he can run alongside the horse with you and leap over small creeks and little rocks and stuff in a fashion that you may not have seen before. And and he's just kind of easygoing. He just is quiet most of the time, but when he says something, it's like really intense and wise.
Nice.
And when you get to feel like, we should stop now, he says, okay.
All right.
He finds your amiability most refreshing. His experience with barbarian, they're usually not very pleasant people.
Nathan, he one evening as you're kind of setting up camp and settling in and the light is just fading, he thanks Paco for, I don't know, does Paco, as Paco prepares food for you, Guy, is he preparing the things that Boris presents, or is he like, no, because you're playing this guy until you give me a reason to fail a morale roll, so.
Right. Paco, I tell Paco to cooperate with my new companions, and Paco's not dumb, but yeah, you're right, he's the first to me always, first. But yeah, once he starts cooking, he'll start cooking, but he will serve me. He won't serve them. He'll just, the food will be there for them, but he'll come and serve me on a plate.
So he'll cook enough food for everyone, but he only will bring you yours.
He'll personally serve me, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes I don't care. Sometimes I'll just take it myself. I mean, I'm Sir Guy.
Yeah.
I do what I want.
Correct. Okay.
Boris would like talking to Paco. If he brings him a rabbit, he'd stick around and, watch him cook it and talk and stuff.
Paco's not very talkative to you.
As long as he can listen, sometimes Boris will carry on.
Because if he starts getting talkative, then Guy will look around and be like, who's he talking to? He's the help. He's not supposed to be blabbering. But you might catch him when he's asleep or something. So.
Okay.
Does Paco take part in the watch, or is he just like, as soon as dinner's over, he cleans up and goes to bed and checks the horses and that kind of thing?
I don't put Paco's not on watch because he's not he tends to fall asleep.
Okay.
And he's not a very good fighter or anything like that. So he might hear an owl hoot and just wake everybody up. So no, I don't put him on watch.
Nathan
He'd see a
said,
skunk or something and he'd see a skunk and scream and wake everybody up and probably wake up some other monster nearby. So no, Paco keeps to the back.
Nathan says that he has had some dealings with some ship captains at the harbor at Chex, or at Tila, and he, the person that he has been working for has been getting some very exotic items and art pieces, and you asked me about the tattoo, Sir Guy. It's basically a mark of loyalty to my employer?
A spider has sinister association, by my experience.
Those must be some spiders then. I don't think I've ever met a sinister spider.
I've seen spiders bigger than your hand.
Really? I have not.
They taste pretty good in a pinch. Kind of squishy.
So you don't cook? Do you cook the spiders as you would hen?
On a stick. You cook them on the fire.
And what? I can't
Crunchy
imagine.
on the outside.
I can't imagine what a spider would taste like. Is it unusual?
Indeed.
But apparently it seems to agree with you. You are quite the specimen.
I eat whatever I can get my hands on.
Well, I for one am very appreciative of the game that you've caught for us along the journey. And I'm
Yes.
Paco seems to know what he's doing with ladle and spoon, so I'm grateful to him as well.
We can cook a fine bird, by the way.
You know, I came this way and I didn't see a fort.
How close did you get to the sea?
Pretty close. I stayed on a high cliff where I could look out. But there was one point I had to cut inland because of the thicket. I'm used to wide open spaces, not so many trees.
You didn't see any smoke? Nothing like that?
No.
No a large amount of birds, perhaps?
I saw some fires from a farm. They had smoke.
I was thinking of a battle more. Smoke of a battle, the carrion birds afterwards.
I've seen the steam in the morning after battle from wounds and the dead, but not smoke.
Yes. I've seen a steaming body freshly split asunder.
I need Boris to roll me a d10.
That is a 1.
Uh-oh, that's an ominous beginning to action. So, that was a surprise roll. If any of you have on your dexterity a reaction adjustment of 3 or higher, please, you are not surprised.
I am surprised.
So is Nathan, because he has a +2 reaction adjustment.
I have a +2 reaction adjustment. Boom.
Fair enough. So, all of you are surprised. And though I do not have, I don't think I need to draw the map, because you are attacked by what seems to be everyone from everywhere. And what that means is the sound of breaking thickets and cracking limbs and footfalls of heavy infantry close in around you from all sides. And with shield and spear, you are surrounded by what appears to be 50 dark-skinned humanoids wearing metal armor and helmets, certainly not of a style that you are familiar with. And they have you surrounded, and they use their movement to cover you with their spears. And technically, when you are surprised, you can be covered. So they are allowed to do that under the rules, and what that means is, and I will read you exactly what it means, so you just kind of get the
I like
idea. You just kind of get the
conventional with the bow.
Are these aggers?
No, they're not aggers.
'Cause I would recognize an agger.
I would say the aggers have a way different form of armor. These guys are wearing metallic armor with leather straps and things, and the aggers are based off of the Arabian style here in real life, so they would be wearing certainly leather and possibly silk type armors and the pointed helmets and that sort of thing.
Terrapins, basically.
Yes. So as soon as I find my book,
But these are human, right? These are humans.
they are.
Are they Akireman?
Well, I mean, I can tell you they are, but doesn't that kind of spoil the storytelling? Because you don't know what they are.
I've fought them before, I would think. But that's
No.
just my... Okay.
No, this is all new.
Okay.
It's
I
like
don't
who-
recognize them except that they're humans.
It's
Okay.
like, who the fuck are these dark motherfuckers? These Mediterranean-looking sons of bitches. Alright. I must have moved my precious somewhere else. So I'll use the almost precious version. Oh, duh, it's right here. What a fucktard.
The Die of Death, is that what you're looking
No, I like the paperback version of Combat and Tactics because it's updated. And so I've tried to buy the paperback version on eBay, and they'll list it as a paperback, and then they send me the hardback. I'm like, this isn't paperback. Oh, sorry.
I'm mad that the Trove is gone because apparently they were making ad revenue off of pirated stuff, and they got shut down for it.
Yeah, you're not supposed
Yeah.
to do that.
When you said it was closed down, I bummed out. Because I did download a bunch of stuff last time I was on, and I'm glad I did.
That was my plan. Well, I got the stuff I needed for Shad, and I found like other places you can get some basic stuff. So
Okay, so covering can also be used with any handheld bladed weapon. Basically, the character puts her sword, or in this case, long spear, to an opponent's throat in a single adjacent square and menaces him. The victim must be stunned, dazed, pinned, unconscious, or surprised for a character to cover him with a melee weapon. As thanks for Daryl's rolling a 1, we got that accommodation. As with bows and crossbows, the covering character automatically wins the initiative against her target and can attack in the fast phase or in the very fast phase if she is a specialist. The attack is made with a +2 bonus, and the critical hit goes to 18, 19, or 20. So, the three of you are surrounded. There's 10 adversaries to each of you. Now
Yikes.
and
Well,
now-
not the sneaker.
and now we go, and someone speaks in a language that sounds like broken Southern tongue, and the speech is, "We have you surrounded. Drop your weapons and surrender. There is no need to die today." And that is someone's action that is behind the ones that are covering you. Technically, you are surrounded by 8 people each. If you need to know the exact amount, because that's how many squares can surround a medium-sized figure.
yeah, I would say the key is going to try to figure out how many of them. He's going to look around very quickly and set how many of these people that he can see.
So now that you are no longer surprised, we move on to round number 2. Actions. Nathan, I'm just going to roll a straight morale roll for him. Considered he will be subjected to 8 attacks, 2 of which will be flanking and 3 of which will be rear attacks. He says, "I surrender. Actions for, since you're on top, Daryl, we'll just go with Boris.
I drop my spear and I say, "You should not be pointing that spear at me."
Okay, but do you have an action?
Surrender. Is that an action? I drop my weapon and put my hands up.
It is, but you could all, obviously you could do, my action is to attack, but I'm readying an attack if I see or think that a circumstance comes up where I can, and which really is too vague. You'd have to give me a more specific trigger.
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm surrounded. They got me.
Gee.
There would be no weapons in my hands at this particular time except maybe my lance. Is there anybody directly behind me on the horse? Is there anybody behind my horse, as I should say?
Roll a luck roll. Let's see if there is. That's on a D30
If
and your
they're
level.
surrounding me, I'd imagine they're behind me.
Right,
or at
but
that.
maybe they missed your horse. Roll a D30 plus your level.
I mean, I'm on horseback. I'm on horseback.
Hold on.
Okay.
I wasn't envisioning you being on horseback while having this conversation. Why? This was like when.
Oh, I thought we were on the move.
This
I
was
thought
when
we were.
I thought this when I said that you guys were setting up camp.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm fine then. Yeah, okay, right on.
Okay.
I thought I was on horseback.
That's
That's
all right.
fine. Don't worry about the horse then.
Okay.
I'll look to see if Paco is tending the horse, if he's just there, and then I will. Yeah, I have no weapons in hand, so I'll just stand. I'll stand pat and cross my arms.
And even though Paco's not a combatant, he is attended by several other of these individuals. So does he go
Yeah, they
ahead?
can't just let him roll.
Does he go ahead and give up as well?
Oh yeah, Paco cowers under the horse.
Okay. So as you all surrender, you will have to let me know if you want to do something while I am monologuing. So, stepping up through the adversarial soldiery in this unusual looking banded type of armor, long pieces that are attached to leather and form layers upon their bodies. And if you want to see what they look like, obviously, you can look up banded mail. And they have these large shields that aren't really like round. They're kind of a weird triangle shape, and they're rounded on the edges. And you see they all have the embossed shape of some kind of bird on the front of these shields. If any of you has any kind of like animal knowledge, then you might know what kind of bird it is. And if you don't, then you can roll a d20, and if you get a d20, then you might know.
What about heraldry?
Okay, so you would roll your heraldry, and if you get a natural 20, then we'll talk.
Nope.
Fair enough. As you, as players, would know, this heraldry would not be something that anyone probably left alive would be able to recognize. There may be a few characters running around that might recognize it. However, you do not. And the broken southern tongue says, "Please do not be alarmed, but do not give us a reason to inflict pain upon you. If you wish to offer yourselves up to whatever gods of death that you have, now would be the time, because you are now the property of the Akireman Empire. If you do not understand what that means any attempt to alter your status from this time forward will result in a very extreme form of punishment. Consider yourselves to be entering into a new form of life, one of servitude and gratitude for keeping you safe. And Daryl has his hand up.
That don't work for me. I pull both my axes out of my belt, and I'm gonna attack and go into a frenzy.
Okay, so tell me how frenzy works.
My frenzy is a combination of moves and feints and swirls and spinning my spear or my axes in a way that makes them think I'm going to hit them here, but then I move over here and whoop, get them from the back. Let's see.
Is there a time component to this frenzy? Like, does it take time to work up to? Is it instantaneous? What would that be?
It's instant. I just found it here. When making a melee attack, the brush runner can go into a frenzy of whirls, spins, and darts that confuses opponent and makes the brush runner more difficult to hit. The successful dexterity check begins the frenzy. If the check fails, he may try again in another hour. If the check succeeds, the brush runner gains a -3 to armor class. I can maintain the frenzy for a number of rounds equal to my constitution,
Wow.
and it ends automatically at that time, or I can voluntarily unfrenzy.
All right, sounds good.
It's more of a combat style, as the way I picture it, to make myself harder to hit.
Yes. Okay. So, Guy.
How close am I to my equipment?
You are. If you're making camp, you can't. You're not going to be more than 20 feet away. So, let's roll. You can roll
My
it.
big question is, am I armored right now?
Well, you tell me. You've been setting up camp, and now you're having a relaxing conversation.
Yeah, I'm not in my armor. I'm in my leather. Yeah, I need to get to my equipment. I have no weapon in hand.
Roll me 4d6 and let's see how far away you are.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. $18.
So you're 18. So you're 3 squares away.
18 squares away. Ah!
Okay.
He
So
said 3 squares, Jason. He said 3 squares away.
I know. I was like, yeah, 18 squares away would be, ah!
Yeah.
I'm off in the woods somewhere.
that'd be some poltergeist changing of the camera thing where you're woo. Okay. So whenever Boris says what he says and he draws his weapon, I am going to see if he surprises them, but considering the way he did it, it wasn't like a stealthy thing, it was just like a whoop. So the chances
I know, all of a sudden he kind of went ape shit.
yeah, the chances of being surprised
If they
will
were
be
still
reduced.
covering me, they would get to go first, too. If
Correct.
they had not,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So, Guy, do you have an action?
I'm stepping towards my equipment.
All right, so you know that you're surrounded, so you'll be suffering attacks and all that jazz.
I mean, what else can we do? We're surrounded right now. We're
I'd-
basically screwed.
I'd say live, but whatever. Okay. And Nathan will, with a 4, he does not move. He's like, no, that's how you get killed. So,
Yeah, if I'm going to obviously be cut down, I'm just going to hold.
well, I mean, I don't know how tough you are. They don't know
I
how.
want to see.
They
I
don't.
want to see how much of a commotion this guy makes. Who's already blowing smoke out of his nose and his hair standing up straight. So
All right, so Boris,
I'm baffled.
Boris, roll initiative, please.
3.
Okay, so with them having you covered, they automatically win initiative. So let's do this for the first time ever. Well, second. Okay. All of the people that are doing the covering, they all appear to be dressed in similar fashion. There's not like one guy that's like 10 foot tall, that's the obvious Brutus Beefcake of the group. So the problem is you don't know how tough they are, so you're kind of taking a chance here.
So there's no obvious officer?
Except for the one that was speaking from behind the, like, a little further back. And as I said, since you were making camp, it's not completely dark yet, so there's no negatives for, like, twilight or anything like that.
Okay.
No one was on watch. Okay, so attack is made with a +2 and critical drops to 18. Okay, so let's just start with here. So Boris, unfortunately, as you're like, haha, that won't work for me, except you said it like someone else. So the front three will attack. We got a natural 18. Okay, so for a dirty 20, we'll follow that up with a 16. Okay, so, and then the other two hit 9 hits armor class 11.
You need to hit 4.
Miss. I need to hit a 4?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the
With
other
the
one,
frenzy, it's down to 4.
the other one missed. And the other front guy like goes to stick you, but he slips on some mud and misses. All right. And then the two flanking. Oh, so the one that struck you, spear. So you got, so far, these are just the front ones. You take 3 + 1 for the serious wound for 4 points of damage. And then I would like you to roll percentile.
$73.
Okay, so as you are like moving and trying to block and whatever, somehow you turn and it sticks you in your the upper back area, like between your shoulder blades. And that's where you get hit for 4 points as he drives the point in. And immediately you feel a slickness coming down your back. And you have a -2 to hit and damage, and add 50 pounds to whatever you're carrying, and that may change other things to go along with it.
Something cut me.
You feel like it might have went through your armor, but it's almost like it caused you to recoil, and it kind of like twists or pulls some kind of muscle. So like,
Yeah.
you got this fucking awful kink in your back right now. Okay, so
He doesn't wear.
oh,
Three
okay.
kinks in your back.
Well, there you go. So then the two flanking attacks, they both get a +1, and then +2 because you're covered. So we got terrible rolls. Not even an armor class of 10 on either one of them, so they missed. And then so one of them tries to stick you, and you just take your belly and go whoop, and then the other one tries to stick you, and you go whoop. So you were doing like the hula jam there in the middle. And then lastly, 3 from the rear, they get a +2, and then another +2 because of the cover. So we have a two natural 20s,
Oh, fuck.
and an armor class of 6.
It's 4.
Okay, so that one missed. Okay, so here's the 2 follow-ups, explosions. A armor class of 8, no, and an armor class of 4.
4
Okay.
gets it.
All right, so roll percentile again, please.
32.
Oh, okay, this one gets you right in your left shoulder. So as you spin around, the one goes and sticks you in your left shoulder once again. But it's like it's more like a soft tissue or a sprain or a tear in your shoulder. It's not a puncture or an internal injury.
I
So
overexerted myself.
on the regular hit, that was not anything else. You take 2 points of damage, and then from the serious wound in the shoulder, you take 1 + 1 for 2 more points of damage. And then since you were hitting the shoulders, you now have an additional -1 to hit and damage, and an extra 30 pounds added to your weight that you're carrying. And that may cause you to be shifted into a different category as far as encumbrance. And if it does, then you'll have to tell me.
All right, I'll look at it in a second here.
Okay.
I'm writing it.
The man's gone crazy. He must be sick. Some kind of infection.
Now I have to ask, Daryl, that 4 armor class, since they went first, was that armor class with your brush runner thing?
Yeah, the frenzy.
So since they went first, do you get to activate that before them, or?
My action caused them to attack, but my action of pulling my axes and beginning to spin around, that's the way I saw it. So that's your call.
Okay, so yeah, we got to roll initiative to see who goes first.
We did, and I got a 3.
Okay, but since you're covered, they go first.
Right.
So technically you shouldn't have been able to do anything yet.
His action triggered them going first.
Well, you don't get it. He didn't get a free action. He was surprised. Everyone was surprised, and then we go to the next round. And
But then we were talking. We were standing there talking for a while.
Okay.
And I was telling you.
all right, no, that makes sense. Okay, so
Did you think it was instant? It was an instant.
That's just the way I saw it. If you want to replay it, then
Well,
it's 7
well, hold
without
on.
that.
Did you make your dexterity check?
We didn't do that. That is a 4.
Plus,
If I add my dex, that is a 21.
then that is a success. That's the lowest you can roll.
Oh.
Be successful. All right. So because you initiated the thing, so technically, you were covered, and then you were like, we were talking, and then you went, hey. I mean, I can see how that's a little wonky, but you know what? Whatever. That's cool.
At the beginning of the encounter, I stated it, and I told you what it was, and then we played it, and I told you what my armor class was. So I just thought that you agreed with my action of going into the frenzy is what triggered their attack. But if you want to add some damage
Okay, well,
to
okay,
it,
so
because
wait.
it wasn't,
Hold
I'm
on.
cool with that.
So, yeah. All right. That's just one of those weird things where it's like salugi.
Next time you will know.
Yeah, in the future, anything that you do that causes a change in the status, that has to be done in order of turns. So that's just something just figured out now, and that's fine. I'm good with that. So
On that note,
you got the benefit of me not knowing it.
on that note, I would like to suggest that we have individual initiatives instead of group initiatives. Just for the players, of course.
That's the
The
way
DM
I've
would
always
still
done it.
roll- The DM would still roll as like a group of goblins as attacking.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and the DM can actually roll as many initiatives from
Well,
their side as they want. If they want to do it all individually, I mean,
I'm not
I understand why.
as a concept. I'm not against it, but when you use combat and tactics, if people roll the same number on initiative, then something other can happen. And the more guys that are rolling dice means that can drive that up more than the occasional.
well, that being said, some people have higher dexterity and can react a lot faster. And that's something that I've always done where each person rolls their own initiative, and that way they just, it establishes the order right off the bat. Nobody can
Any time.
That's a different
Yeah.
rule, Jason. You're using a different rule set. That's not what
Oh, my
this
bad.
is.
I'm not trying to impose. No.
I know, I understand. I'm just saying, I know what you're talking about. That's not what this is. I mean, we can certainly go very basic and do it the way you want. I just think it's more fun having the element of random jam in there. That's all.
It's fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion. I
We've done it all
understand why
this time.
you do
We've
it.
done it all this time, and I've never complained a bit. I rolled crappy ones. Everybody's rolled their crappy initiative rolls, so yeah. It's always good to go, oh, you rolled a 1, man, let's blame him.
All right.
It's all good. It's all good.
Are the attacks all finished then?
Yes.
All right. I am going to attack if it's my turn.
Dang it, Taurus.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead, Daryl.
I'm swinging my axe at the closest guy to me. Hit 1 minus 3, so I would hit armor class of 4.
Armor class of 4. You would make it close enough where I'd have to look it up. I gotta go pee real quick. I'm sorry. I'll be back in a second.
Gotta get rid of that.
Dang it.
As he's swinging his axes and whirling around, you hear him shout, "I gotta find my sister!"
I'm totally unarmed, man. I'm 3 squares from my shit. And I'm pinned by 8 dudes.
What an opportune time for the DM to ambush us.
Yeah,
And of course I really won.
let's just castrate the new characters right off the bat. Yep. I'm unarmored, not on my horse. Here I am. Well, that's the way shit goes. I also was going to tell Cobb that he may not know it, but I can fight with a lance on foot. It's still a weapon on foot. It's just a big spear, basically. But I don't get any charge bonuses with it.
Sure.
But it's still a big, pointy stick.
Yeah, you couldn't use it in a dungeon, but out on the
No,
battle.
I wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
I got a bastard sword if I can get to it.
Yeah.
I got specialization with a bastard sword. I'll show these motherfuckers if I can get to it.
That covering is a good idea, man. I used it on Latonius. Of course, it was ineffective with Reginald. But he was covering him, and I got to shoot first. As soon as he moved, it was like, boop.
Poor Reginald should have kept out of all combat completely.
He's gone through some shit.
Every time you got into a fight, somebody fucked you up bad.
Rips my throat out, stabs me in the face.
And I felt bad about that, because, how often was Shad throwing himself into the fight, and none of that shit ever happened?
Yeah.
I got swallowed by a worm, and that was completely different. So, but that was like completely, I had no control over that situation.
Yeah. It's just the luck of the dice, man. That's what makes it
Chad has
interesting.
been lucky, and I've told Cobb that before. I've said Chad has had some lucky rolls, and I'm happy for that. I'll happily show all my dice rolls. I've always said that.
Oh, yeah. I've got my camera where it's like close. You can almost see my dice. You know,
I'd like to have one of those little smaller screens where you can see the dice area, and you can just see the dice.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. God damn it.
It's a shame that Randy got called to work this evening.
Yeah. I'm not going to be a slave.
No, I can't see just giving up at this point.
No, I'm going to see. I was hoping that you can distract them just enough for me to get to my shit. I'm barehanded right now.
Yeah.
I want to just grab a bunch of their spears and just hold them. I don't know what to do, and I've also considered grabbing you to stop you from fighting, but
I don't know who you give to me.
no. I mean, the real thing I want to do,
Kind of separately.
I want to challenge them to a I want to challenge the leader to individual combat.
That's it.
That's my deal. I will not be a slave. I'll be your slave, but you got beaten first, motherfucker. You got to beat me down.
We'll see how that goes.
Otherwise, I'll be like, just kill me now, you dirty bastard. Leave my horse alone. See, that's another thing. If they're near my horse, I can get the horse to kick and fight because it's a war horse.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't just have a horse. I have a horse that will fight. And that will go into the dungeon with me with my lance.
I haven't played a Cavalier in a long time. I think since Dick played. But he was fun to play.
I played a paladin once, and this is not the same thing. My paladin was fun. That was when I played that down here. And he had his groom where we just say axe, and the guy would hand him an axe. Sword. It was a fun campaign. It was like a bunch of zombies come out, axe.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping at least we could meet. I could half armor. I got my leg armor on still. What's going on? Shit. Still with I'm right now. I'm armor type 4, so I got a high dex. I took a high dex because that helps with my riding.
Oh, definitely.
I can do some riding shenanigans that way. Like I told him, I have an extravagant jousting style. Since everybody normally jousts right hand, I joust left hand. I was watching excuse me. We're down the wrong chute. On Amazon Prime, there's a show called El Cid, and it's a series, and it's very good. It's very very Cobbish. The technology level and the way they look, and the shit, and it's all in history. It's real stuff. And they do the jousting in there where they talk about the different styles. And mine is the overhand style. Mine is the style where, because I hold my shield with my right hand, and what I do is I come up and over down on them and hit them right. So while just completely deflecting their shit. But yeah, I'm left-handed. I told Cobb that. I don't know if that really has any basis on combat. If we were like...
Not really, just for aesthetics.
If we were hoplites, it'd make a difference because they were all right-handed people, and you had the left-handed hoplites. And I'm talking about the rows of dudes with the spears and the shields, the Ancient Greek. Those guys, just a line of dudes with spears, and they all had. It was the pushing fight. They did more pushing than anything.
Yeah.
And they could have the Athenians had special left-handed units that would just completely screw the whole thing up because they were like, they screwed the whole.
That's kind of like these guys are that have got us surrounded.
Yep,
they look like spears and.
I always got the impression that the Akireman were kind of like the Romans and stuff. So,
yeah, me too.
I thought they were Aggers because
I think it's Aggers nowadays, dude.
He's fought Aggers before, and actually that's how he became knighted. He defeated an Agger chieftain at a tournament, and he was knighted because he defeated him. So I know what Aggers look like. Though.
Yeah. Arabian.
Okie dokie. we move to round number 3.
I'm casting.
Nice. So,
Did we resolve round 2?
yeah, the first round was surprise. Second round, you got stabbed.
And I hit an armor class of 4.
Oh yes. Okay. So as you start to spin around and do your herky jerky bush runner style, you bring your axe down, and the axe, you see it. You're aiming for this guy's exposed chin, and at the last second, he rolls with it, and it kind of flakes off that little piece that hangs down on the jowls of the helmet and blocks it away. So you were this close to hitting these individuals. So now you know. Okay.
Yeah.
So, next round, actions. What's his name here? Nathan. He's going to roll again, but with each successive failure, he gets a -1.
I thought
So,
he was heading toward his gear.
Well, no, I'm gonna get. They'll cut me down. 3 squares. They'll cut me down.
all
I'm not
right.
stupid.
Action. So right now, you're the one that's closest to the fight, Boris. So, action. You get to say first.
Attacking. Frenzy.
Gee.
I call out. Face me in personal combat, you coward. You're hiding behind your men. Face me.
Do you have an action?
I stand there and just yell. Yeah.
So your
I make a
action.
lot of noise.
Your action is to parlay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And you see Nathan decide that he is going to go ahead and try to fight. So,
Have I distracted everybody to help them guys with their surprise roll?
well, this particular group of adversaries seems like highly disciplined, like they've almost been trained to be ready for outbreaks or skirmishes that they aren't ordered to. It's not like going after a foul ball in a baseball game that everybody runs over there. So, okay. So, I would say, Guy, roll initiative. Beat a 5.
I rolled a 2.
All right. So, on very fast, all of the ones that were covering Nathan attack. Oh my goodness. Nathan is wearing, as I said, chainmail. So, I need to hit that. All right. So the front 3. 2 19s and a 17. The 2 19s do hit. Nathan takes 10 points of damage. He goes, ow. That hurt, you sons of bitches. The one that missed goes off his chainmail. The 2 flanking attacks. Yeah, we can't do that. Okay. So the +1, that is a miss. Oh, +3. Sorry, still a miss. And a miss. And then 3 rear attacks at +4. That is a, oh boy, 22, that's a hit. And a follow-up. Okay. He takes 7 more points of damage. And Boris, if you could roll percentile.
80 even.
He gets poked right in the stomach. Somehow the one in behind, and during the fracas, gets him. And with a wound to the stomach, he has a -2 to hit and damage. And he has a 50 pounds to weight. And let's see if that affects him at all. It does. It takes his movement down to the next lower level. And now the next back attack at +4. That is a hit for 4 points of damage. And the last rear attack. That is, and he doesn't get his dex bonus on a rear attack, I don't think, do you? Let me just make sure that's correct. Because I'd hate to accidentally gloosh it. I think you got to be surprised not to get your dex. Son of a bitch, where'd that thing go? Just had it. Oh, I took it to the fucking duck.
Screw again. I blame you for it.
Wait.
All you, man. Thanks a lot. Stupid barbarian. Where'd he go?
Booby.
Oh, Kyle.
No. He's giving me time to figure out my abilities here.
I'm thinking about, man, whistling for my horse, come busting this crowd. Damn it. We're gonna die.
Okay, let's see. In addition to the attacker advantages, the defender's shield doesn't help against any flank attacks. Last but not least, the defender's dexterity doesn't count against rear attacks. Okay, so because he does not get his dexterity, he is hit on the last time for 2 points of damage. And those are all the attacks against Nathan. He took 23 points of damage. And he goes, holy shit, that was not good. So, now we go to you, Boris. You guys won initiative. And since you're not covered, you can go.
All right. That was my -3. It's an armor class of 6.
I'm sorry, that is a miss. As you enter into your whoopity-doo defense, the Akireman that you swing at, your axe gets blocked away weakly by the shield. Clang! And now it is their turn. And you hear words coming from the back in a different language. You don't understand it. And you don't know what it means. All right. So, the front three. And there's no longer the bonus to cover. And they hit an armor class of 4. Here we go. We got a hit off of a miss because of your fighting style, a miss, and a possible crit. Nope, just a regular hit. So, from the front three, Boris, you take, a whopping 1 point.
Whoop.
From the two flank attacks, they get a +1 only. We got an armor class of 4 and a natural 20, which will explode. And just a regular hit. So you got hit twice. Boris, this time you take 6 points of damage. And then the 3 flank attacks, which are at +2, and you do not get a dexterity bonus. So what?
Puts me up to a 7.
Okay. So, what happened to the other dice? There it is. We got a miss, a possible crit, and another possible crit. A hit and a miss. Okay. So, the one that regular hit, you take 2 points of damage. The serious wound, you take, 1 + 1 for 2. And then I would like you to roll percentile again.
16.
Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's, you take 1 point of damage and no need to roll, because that was the cover thing was the extra jam. Although that one was a natural 20, so I'm sorry. So, yes, I'm sorry, you did get critted once on a natural 20 for 2 points, and then you just rolled percentile, and it was a
16.
16. That is in the face diagonally, so from the top left, right across your nose down to your left or your right jawline, a slash from a serious wound. There's a cut, and it's bleeding, but it's not like a super deep thing. But in addition to the 2 points of damage on the face, you now, for the duration of the serious wound, you have a -2 to any kind of charisma checks. Okay. So that is all of the attacks against Boris. And now Nathan will attack. And he gets 1 attack and then 1 offhand because he's a 2-weapon fighting style. Although I'm going to say I would like Guy to roll 4d4 and see if Nathan had his stuff with him. Give me a total. Can't hear you.
7.
7. All right. So it's 1 square away. He would have to get through someone to get to his things. So he's already been attacked. If he's going to move, he's going to suffer more attacks of opportunity. So fuck it. He's already committed. So he goes to move. And 3 attacks of opportunity on his back. They do not get any of the normal pluses. They're just straight up regular attacks. And we got a miss, and a miss. They all 3 miss. He gets to his things. he picks up his two weapons and, well, actually, he has to get through a fucking square. So even before he can get through the square, he's got to knock somebody down. So that would be overbearing. And overbearing, he enters into the guy's square. And he only rolls a 6, but... 8. Yes, so he enters the square, and then they both have, if I remember right, opposed strength rolls. Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. Overbear. Opposed strength roll. Okay. So Nathan rolls a strength check and rolls a 5. That's not very good. And then the other guy rolls a strength check, and he rolls a 2 and rolls even worse. So he is able to move through the square, get to his swords, and he grabs them, and that is the end of his turn because his action was an overbear. So there you go. So now we have Nathan is clear, but still engaged. And then at the end of the round, the ones that he got away from, they all move and recirculate around him because they can, and that's the end of their turn. So once again, he's surrounded. Yes, Crump.
At the end of the round, I squat down and I'm going to leap to take my movement. I'm going to leap over, and all the strength I can muster, I'm leaping over this soldier and getting behind him.
Okay. So, as you leap, you will be getting attacks of opportunity on you because you're leaving their front squares.
Okay. One guy. I'm leaping over one guy.
Yeah, but
right?
you're
So
leaving.
He's got 2 guys next to him. Okay, I'm leaping.
Yes. And just so you understand, when you're there and then you're surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this is their front
Right.
square. When you leave that square, they all get to attack you.
Okay.
Instead of like trying to move through. Now the thing is though, you're not having to make a opposed roll because there's nobody up here. But
Right.
so you're being attacked more, but it's easier to, if you survive, to get out, I guess. Okay.
I'm trying, because that's what I do. I
Okay.
can leap and I can spring.
Okay, so you go to leap and they all go, what? So I'm just going to roll a whole bunch at the same time. Because it's
I
fun.
don't need that enough dice.
Well, I got to roll 4 of them twice. Here we go. Okay. What the fuck? One of them disappeared out of my hand somehow.
It's
anyway.
meant to be, Tom. That's a miss.
Miss.
You don't get that one.
A miss, and one of the dice just fucking disappeared. Oh well, alright. So what's your armor class?
Without dex or
No, with.
Without frenzy?
With dex.
7. Because I don't know if this is part of the frenzy or if I have to.
Well,
it says I stay in frenzy.
Here, okay,
So-
I'll let you paint me a word salad. How does your frenzy still work while you spring up? I can think of something, but I want you to tell me.
It's part of the movement where I'm herky-jerking around. I mean, even though I'm surrounded, I'm avoiding spears here and there, and I'm whipping around, and I duck down. And as I leap and spring, I'm going to do like a somersault and let my feet go over my head and try to land on the other side. doing one of them parkour moves, man.
That sounds like Jackie Chan to me.
All right, so I got something even cooler, but I'm going to finish rolling, and then I'm going to give you another chance to try and super cool it up for me using your imagination and how you managed to avoid all these. And I found the other dice, so...
Okay.
Okay, so with your armor class being 4, you only get hit once, but it is a natural 20, so we gotta explode it, and that's, nope, so that's just a regular old hit for 6 points of dinkus. Okay, so please paint me this super coop dupe jam on how you managed to avoid all these spears as you leap up and over.
As I'm squatting, I thrust myself toward the first soldier and step off of his knee and shield to slam him backwards a little bit and jump over with the swirl, the twirl where my feet are going over my head, and I'm still swinging my axes in circles, flailing in the air. I gotta find my sister!
Alright, so that's cool. Like a drone that's been damaged in midair, it manages to fly up as things are spinning and feet are kicking, and here comes a spear. Kick, kick! Here comes another spear. Ta-ting! Here comes another spear. Knocks away with his elbow. Kicks another one. Steps on the guy's head, and just as he's leaving out, the last guy goes, kick! And gets him right up near his groin. He's like, ah, fuck! But he lands. I don't know how far your spring enables you to move, but...
I can roll the dice. It's 2d4 plus 3.
Well, like
for a standing leap.
Feet?
A standing leap. 7 plus 3 is 10 feet.
Okay, so you move. Okay, well that would be 2 squares. So you you land right behind one of the 8 guards or soldiers or whatever the fuck they are, and bloop bloop, and the ones that are there, they're just kind of like, oh, and they turn and they all look at you, and that's the end of your turn, and so now you're not surrounded anymore. Well, then again,
it was already the end of the round.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Because you said those guys moved around.
No. You're.
I think they're out of movement. But I could be wrong.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what they can do.
Unfortunately, yeah, they didn't move at the beginning of their turn or when they attacked either. You were just there. So, as you flip out and over, and the one sticks you and you land, you still have half of your movement to go, and if you wanted to take that, you could take it without being attacked, because the ones that you're behind, since it's not there, they don't get to turn when it's
They've already taken their opportunity. Yeah.
Well,
I will take my movement.
So how many more points what's half of your movement?
It is 6 more. My movement is 12. I'm still unencumbered even with the critical hits.
So
the serious wound.
Your movement is 12, that's it?
Yes.
Okay, so you can move...
So this round, the next round, unless I can start running, because...
Well, no, what you did is you took your action...
Leap over. Yep.
And until I can take a closer look at the thing, I'm saying the leap is just an ability that is a movement ability. It's not like an action thing. So you move 2 squares, leaving you 4 squares left. Well,
I will take them away from the enemy.
Okay. So You move 4 squares and off into what you think is the way away from all these individuals. Okay. So, that is the end of the round. Because I see. Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to do this fairly. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt and not having you use a point of movement to go up and over these guys. Because any type of movement, 3-dimension, is a square, just like when you fly. Those going up cost just like it does going forward. But I'm giving you a freebie on this one.
The leap is vertical. So it was 10 feet, and I just go over the guy and land on the other side. It's page 11 of the Barbarian book, if you care to look at it, when you care to look at it. It sounded like it worked out just like it reads.
Let me see.
Table 8, Chapter 1.
Sounds like we're quoting the Bible.
Page 11, you said?
Yes, sir.
And the Lord said, the barbarian shall lead forth, 10 feet, and not have his movement inhibited.
On my page 11? Oh, okay, I see. Okay. Okay.
And fruit bats, and orangutan, and the counting shall be 3.
All right, let's see here.
And with my kit, I have enhanced leaping and springing, which means I can spring as a barbarian 2 levels higher. So I should have been looking at this, which is 2d4 plus 4 instead of 1.
Okay, a standing leap.
Because I had no running start, I was just surrounded.
All right, yeah, I've stood here long enough. Nathan got to his stuff. I have a plan. For God's sake, these people have to be slightly distracted.
Indicates the
I'm surprised you haven't
horizontal
whistled for that horse yet.
and vertical for okay, so a horizontal distance for a leap. 2d4 plus 3.
Plus 4 because of my kit, it's enhanced. I'd use 2 levels higher. Oh, that would, hold on, that would be 8 then. Yeah, plus 4. So I rolled 11. That's plenty to get up and over the guy, as you described.
So what this does, so we're just doing this for the first time. So what this doesn't show is how high you go. It only says the distance from where you start and where you stop. Is that right?
If it's a standing jump, it's either a standing long jump or a standing straight up jump. A vertical jump or
the horizontal distance and vertical distance for springs. So I should have said spring instead of leap. So standing spring would be 1d4 plus 3. I will re-roll.
You're standing and squatting and pushing yourself straight up.
Yeah, standing spring. I rolled 5, so I would go 5 vertical feet.
So jump 5 feet, step on his head, and keep going.
And I used the description, taking some steps before I took the spring. If you say I'm only 2 squares away,
No, what I'm saying is it's telling you the distance from point A to point B.
Yes.
Is it also telling you how high you can go, your y-axis or your
The
z-axis?
spring. The standing spring represents that, vertical.
So yeah, he just said he jumped 5 feet straight up.
The standing leap is horizontal, the standing spring is vertical.
And one's a long jump, one's a straight up.
High jump, yeah.
One's a standing, you're not running, it's just straight up hop, jumping across something. Yeah.
Well, what? Just so we're clear, because I'm not clear on it.
He
Okay?
jumped 5 feet straight up.
Okay, well, some of these guys are. I mean, if all these
But
guys
he
were
also
5
described
feet,
how
that
he
wouldn't make
stepping
any
on
sense.
people, so I think he probably jumped 5 feet up, stepped on the guy's shoulder, and kept going.
See, what it's not giving you is not giving you like a bound. It's like, it's just saying, it's only giving you the option of,
A spring or a leap.
and you should have both to determine not only your distance, but your height.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking of Mario jumping and hopping in the game. He jumped straight up and then...
Again, we're doing this for the first time, and we've kind of already played the scene out. But
By the way, I want you to make it. I'm not trying to get you where you don't make it. I just want to make sure we're doing it correctly. That's all.
yeah, me too. That way, that we know. But you're right. One is horizontal, the other is vertical. And that's all it's giving you. So the rest is role play.
I was going to say, I'd say, you try, just roll with it.
Well, then I would say it doesn't say anything about you have to do one or the other. So as far as I'm concerned, you're making both. Because you're jumping up and out. You're not just jumping out and you're not just jumping up. So
Okay.
on your 2d4 plus whatever it should be, 7? Because
That
of
was
your kid.
11 that I rolled.
So you
And
went.
then I rolled 5 on the vertical.
So you
on
went
the
11 foot out and 5 foot up, and
Yes.
since 5 foot isn't above, well, not all of these guys are 5 foot tall. That seems a little short to me. So
Okay.
I'm going
No,
to.
that's
Maybe
their shoulder
they're
though.
down.
That'd be their shoulder height, maybe, or their shield height, something like that.
And they all did get attacks of opportunity, so therefore, yeah, that's fine.
There could be one of them bent
So-
over even.
So instead of being, yeah, okay.
Well, that gives it 2 dimensions. That way, like I said, next time I want to use it, I'll know how to roll that.
All right. Well, anyway, you're outside of that. At the end of the round, they get to move as well. And your side 1 initiative, and then the extra thing, if there's a half move at the end of the round, that's the way that works. So you sprung out, and then they just and they surround you again.
The bastards.
And the reason they could do that is because you couldn't move far enough away
Right.
with what you did. Okay. So, we go to round 4. What's his name? Just took 23 points of damage in one round. But he didn't attack yet, so he needs to go. That's the one thing we didn't do. Okay. There's his name. Okay, his offhand definitely misses. His first hand did hit. And he has a D8. So he's probably going to kill a guy. Probably. Yes, 9 points. So he kills one of the 8 that's surrounding him. And that is the end of the round. So we're going to put Nathan 8/7, Boris 8, Guy 8. Paco, 8. Alright. Round 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So, Boris, action.
Attack.
Guy.
I whistle for Hasdrubal and bull rush these dudes right towards my stuff. I just push through them as best I can. I whistle for the horse and push
Alright.
straight towards my equipment.
So do you understand the mechanic that is used for you to push through someone of same size?
I'm just bull rushing towards my equipment, whistling for my horse, and that's what I'm doing.
So in other words, you're going to trust me to adjudicate the rolls that I tell you to roll. And
I'm going to do the same thing that Nathan did and move towards my equipment.
I know. I'm just, did you want to understand it, or are you just like, fuck it, I'll just roll it and you tell me if I make it or not?
Is overbearing better than bull rushing?
There is no bull rushing in second edition, so I'm using overbearing, which is basically you have to be able to enter into the square of somebody you're trying to get past, and then you have to make a opposed strength roll, and whoever rolls the best, they win. If that guy beats you, or it's a tie, you just stop right in the square in front of him. If you beat him, you move past him.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get towards my equipment as quickly as I can, and I'll take the hits to do it.
All right. Okay, then roll initiative, Boris. Beat a 6. Boris, roll initiative.
Go. Ooh.
Okay. So, in fast, Guy, you go to move. You were covered. They take their attacks. So, the first 3 in your front squares have a +2. Does an armor class of 6 hit? What is your armor class right now? 5? Because of what?
Leather and my ring. My leather doublet and my ring with me on top of my dexterity gives me 2 more. So 5 total.
Okay.
Is that fair enough?
Well, I'm not sure that a leather doublet is equal to leather armor. They're
Well, that's what I'm supposed to, that's my, if I'm not sleeping, I have a leather armor on. That's my leather jacket, basically. That's what I meant to say. That's my casual walking around, not sleeping stuff. I can just take it off easily.
I want to make sure you understand what leather armor actually is versus a piece of clothing.
Okay, then my armor class is, if you're going to be that, then the armor class is 6.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying you need to understand what it is that you're saying that you're doing. Leather armor.
Yeah, I have a good set of. I figure I have it underneath my armor anyway. It doesn't count, but it's the padding underneath basically. It's probably worth, like I said, 1 point of armor. It's what I wear underneath my armor. The leather, the padding, all that stuff. And then when I go to bed, I take that off.
Okay.
And that's I would say that's easily put on as opposed to my armor, which probably takes a couple rounds to put on.
All right. I can see that you're attached to this idea of what is leather armor and what isn't. I'll allow it this time, but the next time I won't.
No, just go ahead and make me armor class 6 then, that's fine. I'll take it. So the guy hit armor class 6 is what I got, armor class 6.
Okay.
That's my dex and my ring.
So, okay. 2 normal hits. for 9 points of damage.
Blah.
Now 2 flank attacks. 1 hits for 5 points of damage.
It always sounds like you're rolling 1,000 dice.
And 3 rear attacks. And the
I beg your pardon?
rear attacks do not get any dexterity. So this is against armor class of 9.
Yeah.
2 hits for... Oh wait, and the 1 was an 18, so that's a critical. And that is not... Okay. Well, actually, yes, it is. Okay, because you have an armor class of 9. All right, so this last one, you got hit. Roll me percentile.
Me?
You.
Whoa.
This is why you don't want to do things when they got you covered.
67.
All right, you got hit in the 67, which is right in the upper chest. So right on your breastbone. Right below your neck.
Yeah.
You get hit for 7 points of damage. And because of that being a serious wound, you have a -2 to hit and damage and add 50 pounds to your weight. And that may or may not affect your movement and or other things.
Not right now. I'm buck naked practically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that is their attack of opportunities, or that's their get to go first because they have you covered attacks. Then you go to move. So enter, and all you have to do is hit armor class of 10 with your attack.
Easy.
Okay. And then now you both do opposed strength rolls. You're adding your strength to your d20, and you're telling me what the number is. Okay, you need to beat 31.
I rolled a 31.
Oh, okay. So let me, no, wouldn't that be great? Okay, so let me read you out of the book exactly why I said it the way
I
it did.
thought I had him beat.
Well,
I'm not super strong like you there.
No,
Like you there, buddy.
Yeah.
Lawrence. You're the strong man.
this guy rolled an 18, so he rolled really good.
Hey, I rolled a 16. What the hell?
Okay, so what happens is
I ran up on his spear.
if the defender wins the opposed strength roll, she stays on her feet, and the attackers remain in their square. That's what happened.
They won?
Well, it was a tie.
A shoving match.
Yeah, like I said, I got hooked up on the spear, like, ah! Because I was reaching for it and pushed him out of the way. I would also ask, does my horse bust through some of these people? Because
Okay.
I would expect a horse attack to be kind of a surprise.
Well, the horse is large, so it doesn't get to go yet.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's not what I meant, though. I meant that all of a sudden this horse starts doing stuff. I think they're not going to be prepared for that.
well, that would be what a surprise roll is for. Okay, so now we go over to Boris. Your side won initiative, so it's your turn.
All right. I am going to swing my axe while I spin and loop and go underneath.
Are you in one of those fucking dice rolling funks, Daryl, where you can't roll above a 3?
Well, I did roll a 2, so that hit the pass up a little bit.
He gets in these things.
I've got minuses to hit, so never mind. It
Yes.
hits 12.
Oh, and thank you for reminding me. Since it's been a couple rounds since you have been given these serious wounds, you need to subtract 2 hit points twice because you are suffering damage at the end of every round per serious wound. You're like your areas that you were struck are like super painful to move. It's like fucking you up. Okay. So that was Boris. Nathan, who got hit for 23 hit, but I forgot to roll his morale, and he's like a 5. He's like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out. I'm not dying today. I'll wait and survive and try to live and try to escape or do something." And they proceed to, start beating on him, and he's like just covering up, like so they're like kicking him and hitting him with the back end of the spears and just beating him down. He's basically turtling. He's taking it. Okay. So Boris, on you. And then Guy will come to you in a second. Boris. What the fuck? That's a D10. Natural 20 again! Fuck!
Damn, we're getting a few of them tonight.
But just a plane. So, armor class of 9, no. So, Boris, on the first 3 attacks, you take 4 points of dinkus. On the 2 flank attacks, they both miss, even with the +1 for the flank. And now the 3 in the back, they get a +2 each. We got a 7, a 13, and a 9. They all miss. You're like whipping around and kicking things. And
I'm a Durban.
what fucking General Grievous action. Ding, 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 ding. And
Smacking their spear tips, whirling around, kicking and flailing.
they are having a hard time. Your defense seems to be working as described. I'll be back in a second.
I need to find my sister. You should not be poking me.
I hope my horse attack takes the by surprise.
We can use any help we can get at this point.
Man,
I'm about to be running. If I can break free, I'm gonna fucking
if I can get to my bastard sword, if I can get to my bastard sword, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start mowing the grass. My horse will be kicked. My horse is gonna die. He's gonna kill my horse.
Oh, not that. I thought we would get to meet the other characters like at the port and be heroic, not on the ship when they fucking rescue us.
Yeah, I was like expecting to rock. Yeah, I had it all played out in my head. Oh yeah.
Everything to be seen. By God. This is Skell, damn it.
I was gonna go up there and yell at people. Yeah. I was gonna say, who the hell's in charge? I would have deferred to Kettle Tom though. Kettle Tom's Paladin. I would have deferred to him immediately. So
Yeah.
And Vanessa, because she's a
You might
sister.
get to meet him someday.
All right.
Not today.
Gee,
Yeah.
Gee, here come your regular attacks now. From the front. Armor class of 10 is the best they rolled, and you have an armor class of 9 because of that fucking...
Oh, okay. Yep, from the front I got 6.
Okay, yes. All miss. So your ring saves you one time, and then everyone else you're like, whoop, whoop, out of the way. The 2 flank attacks. A miss and a miss. They rolled 2 and a 5. That's terrible. And from behind, they get a +2. And no dex bonus. So, 11 hits an armor class of 9.
I'm armor class 9 from behind.
The other 2 miss. Fuck. So, Guy, out of all that, you take 5 points of damage.
Alright.
Okay. Now it's your turn. So you already went because you tried to get through there. That didn't work. Now we move to average, and the horse moves because it's a trained war horse, and you whistled for it to come. So it comes over and it is going to try to move through on
it's going to
the
push
people.
through the people. Yeah.
So the move, I will read you how a move through works because this is a larger creature, and it's one of those rules that I always hated in regular second and first edition because they didn't have it. And then I saw this book and I was like, thank Christ, they finally figured out the way to do it where somebody just wants to get through a bunch of people.
Well, I mean, if
it-
I'm charging on a horse and you're standing there, I'm going to bust you down.
Well, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Wearing its barding.
It's the whole point of the charge is that you get run over. So, but you got to be bigger to run over somebody like that. So
Exactly. You can charge up on a person if
Overruns.
you're the same size. But if you're a horse, you're going to charge over a person. Yeah.
overruns when a larger creature, in this case a horse, attempts to move into a smaller standing enemy square, like these Akiremans. It is called
From behind.
It is called an overrun. Mounted figures use their mount size for this purpose, so a human on a size L horse can overrun a human on foot. Overruns create an attack of opportunity for the figure being stepped on. Now, in this case, the horse isn't really stepping on someone, but they are bumping into them, so it's kind of the same thing.
It's just
after-
shoving into them.
After the defender's attack, the defender must roll a successful saving throw versus paralyzation or be knocked down. Even if he does save, he is forced one square away from his current location. The save is modified by a -4 penalty for a creature 2 sizes larger than the defender, -8 for 3, etc. When a defender is knocked down by an overrunning creature, he may suffer a trampling attack. The trampler gets an attack of opportunity that inflicts 1d4 points of damage per difference in size. Even though the defender is prone, no modifiers apply. Trampling is an afterthought. So, since it's your horse, I would like you to roll. First thing is first, when the horse comes up, I'm going to give it a chance that it attacks with surprise. It's low though, because you got to remember this is a heavy creature, and these guys.
Yeah, but they're not looking at no horses.
These
They're
guys
looking at people.
aren't. These guys aren't deaf, and there's other people that may or may not say, "Hey, look out!" And that's all wrapped up in one roll. Okay.
What die do I roll? Sir?
No, I roll it. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. So the guy that is about to be overrun, he's not surprised. He gets to turn and face his opponent, which is the horse. However, that gives you a free attack on that guy when he turns, because the horse, I'm saying, is coming from behind. It doesn't really matter where, it's behind them all. So, if you want to attack the guy with a punch or a kick or something, you certainly can.
I will punch him in the back of the head.
All
Dang
right.
right.
Roll the hit. Then you got a melee THAC-O on the left of your sheet. That's what you're using.
Oh, this is a good one. I rolled a 17 with the hit. That's my THAC-O. That's right. So that I can hit armor class -2.
All right. Awesome. So right where the roll Dankus, which is
What do I go with?
a fist
with my
is a
fist?
D2 plus your strength modifier, which I don't know what it is for you.
I don't think 15 is anything.
Okay, so a D2.
A 1.
All right, so you say, "Doo!" right in the guy's neck underneath the flap of his helmet, and you both get to roll a opposed strength roll to see. You might knock him down just because. So he got a total of 16.
I got a total of 24.
Okay, so you say, "Doo!" and it just catches him unaware, and the dice say that he gets knocked down in the square. Doo-doo. Which means he doesn't get his attack of opportunity on the horse, so the horse automatically gets to possibly trample. So
I would imagine it's probably 2 It's two
okay.
green.
So your horse has. Let me see how many hit dice your horse has. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess it has 2, but I don't know.
I would say 4, but that's probably a lot.
I'll give you an answer here in just a second. This computer boots up real fast here.
3 plus 3 is my guess.
All right. What's your guess, Daryl? Mine's just a straight 2 hit dice creature.
I think 2 sounds right.
We're doing a medium warhorse, by the way, just in case anybody cares.
Yeah, 3. It might be 2 plus 2. It could be plus something.
Come on. Horses. There we go.
You got the damn monster manual faster than that thing.
Come on, Steve Biscuit.
Hit dice 2 plus 2. Okay.
Hey!
So
You're both kind of right. I knew it was plus.
its Thaco is a 19, so roll to hit for a trample.
A 2. I just rolled once.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
roll. I missed.
So yeah, even with the +4 for attacking a prone opponent,
Yeah.
he still
Two
manages to like roll over and just move out of the way as the horse runs over just where he was.
Good, because I'm going to use him for a stepping stool to get on my horse.
Okay. So that just happened, and the horse is in the square adjacent to you.
Do I have a clear path to my equipment?
Well, your equipment is. I mean, whatever's on the horse, you would certainly could grab, but other than that, it's all back where the horse came from by the tent.
My shield, and my flail are on the horse.
All right. So you've already taken your action for this round.
Yeah.
So you're done for the time being. The horse is next to
Yeah.
you, and that is that. Okay. So with pummeling damage. Let's see where all my D6s have all disappeared. That's great.
Where all my D6s?
There it is. Okay.
Yikes.
It always sounds like about 20 dice.
Yeah, it's a hard game.
Like, damn, man, how many dice you rolling?
That round, Nathan took 12 more points of damage.
Oh, and he was turtled.
Yes. And he is, he's like, just make it, just make it, maybe they'll stop beating me before. And he just took half damage from all those attacks, so he understands that they're just pummeling him, and so he's like, well, starts to hold still.
Poor Randy's going to start the game like, here's your dead character.
Yeah. Okay. So, at the end of the
You got one
round,
hit point. There you go.
at the end of the round, theoretically, Boris could move. Of course, he would be, once again, subjected to all those attacks of opportunity, depending on how he moves.
I am moving.
Guy has already moved.
Unless I can interpose the horse between me and them.
Well, it's taking up the square of one of your attackers.
Vault into the saddle.
Okay. And
Boris,
Boris, you
I'd
want
like to.
Boris, you want to take a half move at the end of the round?
Yeah, I'm gonna push through.
Can I half move into my saddle?
No.
Ooh.
Okay, so Boris, first of all, see if you can actually run into one of these guys, or what have you. Because you gotta. You hit an armor class of what with your melee attack?
I'm looking. I rolled a 6. I got -3, so that's a 3. I hit armor class 10.
Okay, unfortunately, you just kind of run into too much interference, if you will.
There you go.
Armor class 10, you can't hit tissue paper.
Oh wait, armor class 10? Okay. Yeah, that's actually good enough, because you're just
I
going...
remember you saying that he had to hit armor class 10. Now
Yeah. Okay, so now you do opposed strength rolls. Beat a 20.
Woo, come on, baby. 24.
Alright, so,
Strong man, come on now.
first things first, you are subject to an attack of opportunity from the guy that you're trying to get past. And that is a armor class of 5.
It's 4.
Alright. And then you are subject to attacks of opportunity when you leave from the other 7. So, let's roll. And these are just straight up attack rolls, no bonuses for flanking or rear attacks.
And it's opposed.
No, these are just attacks of opportunity as you're fleeing their squares. So we have an armor class of 6, 8, and 8. Those are misses. An armor class of a natural 20 and 2 misses, and the natural 20 explodes for
If there's a minus dex modifier, then you would have to...
just a straight up attack. Nope, it's just they just have to hit you with whatever your regular armor class is. So you just take from that attack a whopping 4, and then one final attack. And that is a miss. Alright. And then, so with your movement, you run into the guy, he sticks you as you go up to get him, you block that attack, you then muscle past him, and all the other ones are like, get him! And they'll stick you, but then you're able to move where?
Away.
6 squares away from the confrontation? Or... I mean, you move your
these
full
guys
6.
surrounding
Yes.
you.
Okay, so
And away from
1,
everybody else.
2, 3, 4. Okay, so you're 5 squares away, and then they move.
Well, now wait a minute. I'm trying to find my running.
Well, you only get a half move. You only get a half move, so you're kind of...
But still, I can go at a much higher rate than normal.
Okay.
Just to be sure, I'm trying to find it.
Okay, yeah. You take your time.
Okay.
I'm getting some more water.
Swiftly.
I'm getting some more
Page
water.
38. A brush runner can sprint at triple speed for up to 3 consecutive rounds on a single strength check. Refer to the jogging and running section in the player's handbook.
Look, man, if I can get up on this horse, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. If I get my shield, Daryl, my armor class improves by like 4.
Heck yeah.
Just my shield. And I got my horseman's flail. I'm about to fuck some shit up. Ah!
Do something.
I'm sorry my horse didn't trample nobody, damn it. My horse is gonna kick, and I'm gonna flail. And that's the plan. He'll probably make me take 3 rounds to get on my horse.
No, use your horsemanship. You got land-based riding, don't you?
Yes, I got good decks for that. I'm ready for that. Come on, horseman's flail. A D4 plus 1. What a shitty weapon. Oh well, I got plus 1 with it.
A character with a movement rate of 12 can jog 240 yards in a round while jogging. The character can automatically keep going for a number of rounds of his constitution.
Is that why you picked him? Because you can run? Is that what
Yes. Running. He's very athletic. He has endurance and running, swimming.
I
Daryl,
can swim.
what page was that running thing on your barbarian handbook?
38.
Okay, I see it. All right.
And then I'm looking in the player's handbook on page 120,
All right.
the jogging and running.
That's okay. You don't need all that.
All right.
Okay, so make a strength check, please.
21. 70.
Strong man. Come on, strong man, shit.
Okay. So you take off running.
It was just coincidental that the kid I picked is on page 37.
Oh. All right. So you move. You move 23. You move 22 squares, and you're finished.
Pew! The dust is behind me like the cartoon character.
Okay. And what you have in front of you or all around you basically is forest as far as the eye can see. There's no other terrain. You're not sure. You know that your group was surrounded by enemies. So is there any particular direction that you take off?
What I think is north.
Okay. All right. So we will now go to the next round. You hear some shouts, and the group that allowed Boris to escape takes off after him. Not and not slow. They seem to be moving quickly away, leaving Guy and Nathan here. So, Guy, I'm going to say that at the end of the round, so you tried to get past somebody. It didn't work. But you didn't really have to move that far to do that. So at the end of the round, after your horse is here, you can get up into the horse, but you will be subjected to attacks of opportunity because you are turning your back on your foes on the ground.
That's fine.
All right.
My priority is to get on horseback, and after that, I'll give you my action.
And one of the attackers is on the opposite side of the horse, one of them is on the ground, so you will be subjected to only 6.
Only 6.
And the reason I'm doing it that way is because the horse takes up 2 squares, like, long.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
That's why it can block the 2 guys. All right.
Well, I figured I was formed anyway, so.
And these are all just normal, no extra jam attacks. So we got an armor class of 6. Does that hit? Yes. Okay, and then 2 that definitely don't. And then armor class of all terrible. So you only got hit once. Alright, so
Oh, you're in trouble now, you peasants.
as you climb up on the horse, you get stabbed in your right thigh for 5 points of damage. But then you mount the horse, and like a well-trained and well-oiled machine, man and horse become one instrument of battlefield annihilation. And
At that moment, Hasdrubal rears up on 2 legs, and I raise my hand, and I shriek, Manuklani Princeps Bestes! You're in trouble now, you bastards.
all right, now we move on to round 5.
Rah!
At the end of the previous round, let's just see what if this is enough to give them pause. It's not like they're afraid to fight. So,
They've had the upper hand, that's for sure.
All of a
let's
sudden, some shit went down.
let's see. Let's have
They opened the can of whoop ass on the wrong people.
so we're gonna say they're wait. There's actually a number for that for soldiers and stuff like that. See if I can find that. Because I'd
I
like.
have a commanding presence. Yes, I would say at the very least, I exude some kind of military charisma on these people. You got one guy going ape shit, jumping all over the place, and this other guy leaps up on a horse, pushes through, and he's like, I'm going to kill all of you.
And that was after we surrendered.
Yeah. Oh, okay, no, we're not surrendering after all.
Oh, put it that way.
There
I
it is.
changed my mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry. No, that ain't going to work. I thought you were going to let them sit down here and like eat something. No, you want to grab us. No.
All right. Elite Soldiers has a number for a morale check. Let's see.
Really? Boo.
Would you use historical knowledge on me, Jason, and care to tell me what you think the Roman legions would be categorized as? Would they be elite soldiers?
Veteran. Now, their commanders is a different story. It's a 50-50 shot. You can either get somebody who was a really good commander or somebody who was a horrible commander, because the Roman legions would march to their death. That's one of the things they did really good, is they would just roll right in and just die. But they would die, but they wouldn't run, they just die. So these guys would probably just die.
All right, well, let's see what the dice say they do here.
If they have a crappy commander and they don't like their commander, that will affect it right there.
All right, well, three of them rolled really high, so they're going to stay and try to kill you. And 3 more. Yeah, so one guy at the end of the round, he runs off. But the other 5 are like, ah, and they all move to formation to surround you and stab. And this
But by now, I would think if there's a commander or an officer, they got to recognize that I'm somebody other than some douchebag, just standing around.
Oh, I think that you're very well noticed, at least. You've got their attention, young man.
Oh,
All right.
I'm gonna go down in a wave of blood. So.
Action. Action from you, Guy.
I'm going to. First thing I'm going to do is get my shield.
That's not an action. That's just a thing you can do.
I will attack, and I will nudge the horse to kick.
Okay.
Attack as well.
Okay. And Boris,
I'm running.
are you
I'm
running?
going to basically drawing a weapon.
Sprinting.
Are you just
Well,
running
of course.
through the forest and just keep running straight, or are you doing anything I need to be aware of?
I'm heading north. I think it's north. I'm accommodating for the terrain, so if it's rough terrain, my movement would be reduced.
Forward!
I'm moving as quickly as I can away from the battle.
All right. I would like Guy to roll initiative.
Forest!
Beat an 8.
I rolled a 3.
All right. So, on fast, Guy, you have an action to attack, and how would you like to accomplish this task?
It's right there in my saddle. I reach down with my left hand. I whip out this flail as it's shown in the drawing. And I just, the first person next to me, I just smack it right across the face. Whack!
Sounds good. Roll an attack.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
By the way,
brother.
hey, don't you have some bonuses for mounted combat?
Yeah.
Do you know what they
Yeah.
are?
Yeah.
Because the
I was
only,
waiting to get to the saddle for this.
from what I
Yeah.
understand, you have a +1 because you're higher, which is equivalent to being mounted. And then do you also have a +1 because of something in your kit?
Yes, I have +1 with horseman's flail.
Okay, so you're at +2 to whatever. You're gonna add +2 to your dice.
Yeah, I hit armor class -3.
That is a hit.
Yay! Horseman's flail. 4 points.
All right. As you shout and start to enter into the war mode, you do as you say. You reach in, you grab your horseman's flail, and you know the difference between a footman's flail and a horseman's flail?
The horseman's flail is smaller. It only does a D4 +1.
Well, it's anything that's a footman means that it's on a pole. So a footman's flail is actually derived from a grain thresher of medieval times. So a horseman obviously wouldn't want to have a long pole with a thing on the end of it. He would want to be able to get that good torque from a shorter.
There's my flail right there,
So,
sir.
right. Yes. I'm just being a nerd. That's all. You'll forgive me.
I know what you mean. You mean the big flop? Yeah. You mean the converted farm equipment? Yeah.
So you whip that down. You strike. You tell me with 4 points of damage. How do you want to do this?
Is he wearing a helmet?
Oh yeah.
The flail comes directly down on top of his head, and tomato sauce comes out the bottom.
And with a sickening crack and that guy is defeated and he slumps down. And the other guys look all mad, like, hey, that's some spicy sauce. Okay.
When to Corey, the Corey and Morty!
And now it
That's
is
Latin for eat, shit, and die.
the loser's side. And they have spears, and if I remember correctly, spears are average, which means the horse gets to go now.
Oh yeah, spears are like speed 6, I think.
So, the horse will do what?
Kick.
Alright? So you give the command, and the horse rolls an attack.
Does it get 2 kicks or just 1?
Let me look it up.
It's probably, I would think it was 2, but I could be easily wrong.
It says medium gets, well, it says 3.
Wow, it gets a bite.
Let me
He can bite
see.
you.
War horses will fight independently, the rider on the second and succeeding rounds of melee. Other breeds fight only if cornered. Most attack twice per round by kicking with their front hooves. Unless specially trained, horses can be panicked by loud noises, strange smells, fire, etc., etc.
Oh no, Hasbro has trampled many horse suckers under his hooves. he's a full-blown war horse. So 2 attacks?
Yeah, one from each. Do.
Is his tackle 18 or what?
I thought it was 17. I mean,
Okay. That hits armor class 6.
that's a miss.
Oh, and a 20!
Up, explode! Explode!
I rolled an 18.
That's also a hit. Okay. So, roll your damage. Or no, you missed. Okay, second one. Okay, so roll a d6 and add 1.
Ooh. That's 4.
Is that right? Hold on.
I figured it was a
Yeah.
D3. I wasn't D3 plus 1 or something.
Says a d6. All right, fair enough. So,
Okay, well that's 4 points then.
4 points. Did you add 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I tell you to add 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, 4 points is enough for these elite, unfortunately, 0-level soldiers. So, would you like to describe how the horse kills another guy with its hoof?
As Guy smashes the one guy's head in, the horse just kind of shimmies sideways, raises up one of its front hooves, and smashes it right into a guy's chest. Cool!
And that's enough to concave the breastplate and crush and break those ribs, and they snap, and he's like, "Argh!" He's laying on the ground just kind of,
That's a fucking chest wound, sir.
Okay. Meanwhile, Boris, as you run, you need to roll a d10.
I rolled a 1.
Fucking Daryl, you're not supposed to do that because now you're surprised.
But it's a 1.
Now you're surprised by something, and it's gonna be difficult for me to explain it, but this somehow happened. So you're booking, and you're running as fast as you can, or almost.
Jumping over stuff
Yeah.
and
So-
going around things.
As you go to jump over a fallen tree log in a kind of like an open space where the tree fell,
Dang it, Ford. Now you run and roll a run. Now you run and roll a run. Look the hell what you have done.
What is your- Boris, what is your armor class without dex? Or anything else?
10.
Okay. That makes sense. So you are surprised as a huge set of talons plucks you out of midair, Ka-jish! And starts to lift you into the air. You take 10 points of damage as these giant talons pierce your flesh and pick you up off the ground. And as you turn to look, you see you are in the underside of a giant bird. One that you may have seen before from where you're from, you're guessing that it is a giant eagle.
You heard it, me?
And the eagle and continues to fly. And that is...
His claw is constricting around my midsection, and I'm spitting blood out of my mouth. You're killing me?
All right, so that was the surprise round for you, Boris. Now we go to round... Oh, so Guy went... Okay, so now Guy gets attacked by... Okay, so they can move. He can get up and move.
6 people.
So yes, 6 people. Okay, so let me write this down over here. 6.
6 people.
Okay. So Nathan, just trying to turtle. He's beaten, and then this round they will secure him.
Yeah, well, he saw me rise up in glory,
So he's off the field now. And then Paco is also not fighting back, so they
oh yeah, they would grab him easily.
restrain him, leaving Guy taking 6 attacks. And
Face beam!
they don't
Face beam!
they don't have a minus to hit you necessarily, but
if I may, I would like to. With my shield, I get a -4 total. If I may, I would like to divide that up between me and the horse. I will use my shield to also deflect attacks from the horse, if I may.
You have any attacks left?
I don't have any attacks left, no, but I mean, what I'm saying in future, next round, I want to divide my my shield bonus with the horse. Not this round.
No,
but
I
next
understand.
round.
I don't know if
I
that's...
get that. I get that.
I don't know if that's a thing.
I'm just asking you as the dungeon master.
Don't you
as
have...
me as a
do you-
skilled horseman and
Yeah.
warrior.
Do you have a weapon
Yeah.
shield style? Do you have a fighting style?
Yeah. I
So-
have shield technique to give me a big bonus. Yeah.
So tell me if there's anything in there that will allow you to do what you're wanting to do.
What I want to do is basically combine my horsemanship.
Look at your kit and your proficiencies and tell me if there's something in there that will allow you to do what you want to do.
As allow, it would be your discretion. As far as what I'm trying to do, I think would be a credible thing to do. If anything, give the horse an additional -1 to its armor class, simply because I'm on that horse and I'm blocking a bunch of stuff that can hit that horse. I'm just trying to I'm trying to make me and the horse this basically a unit.
I understand that, and what I'm trying to get you to do is look up the rules so that way you can be like, okay, here's how this would work, because that might be a thing. Just because you think, well, this should be a thing doesn't mean it is. I understand what you're saying, but I think there's a way that you can know what your character actually has and be like, okay, this is how this
Well,
works.
I know what the Cavalier can do, and that's not really anything that's if anything, that would be part of my shield proficiency. It's not really anything of the Cavalier kit besides being a master horseman. But if it's anything, it would be my shield proficiency that would deal with that, rather than my Cavalier skills as far as a mounted warrior would combine with it. But I think it would be mostly based on my shield proficiency.
Is your character
That's my personal opinion.
Is your character proficient in weapon and shield style?
He's proficient in medium shield style, which gives him -3.
But no necessarily fighting style.
Hang on, let me look at. I have his fighting style right here. Okay, I have. Wow. Medium shield proficiency and balanced defensive adjustment. That's kind of insane. I didn't know that one.
No.
And everything else would just be straight shield proficiency, or just that's it. So I'm just trying to be creative here, man. That's all. I see this in lots of games, and people just try to get creative, and I'm trying to be creative. You're saying that I can sometimes deflect an attack against my horse with my shield by partially,
under your
dedicating
weapon,
part of my defensive adjustment to the horse.
Jason, under
Well,
your weapon proficiencies, you don't have something called fighting style weapon and shield?
Yes, no, I don't have that. I have bastard sword as my specific. I don't have shield and weapon, no. On the original character sheet you made for me, yes, I did, but I don't have it now.
Flail Horseman's full armor chainmail, which takes 25 pounds off of your weight adjustment. That's what that does. Medium lance. You're proficient in the medium shield.
Yep.
You're a specialist with the bastard sword.
Yep.
And here it says fighting style, weapon and shield.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that on there, but I'll look again. I thought that was a separate thing on my other characters that was readjusted, but okay. So would that work then?
However, characters who specialize in weapon and shield style can choose to make one of these secondary attacks every round without losing the armor class benefit for carrying a shield. So, what that means is you can use your shield to try for a block or a trap or a shield punch or a shield rush, and then you would suffer penalties for using the shield, but you wouldn't lose the benefit of armor class for using the shield as an attack.
Right, and I was also thinking that I could use the horse's charge with a shield rush and just really knock the shit out of somebody.
Sure.
Just knock them down.
So what I'm going to tell you is that if you want to use your shield in the way that you're describing, the way it's going to work is you can try to block one of those attacks with your shield, but it's going to be at a minus a large amount because you have to declare that before the round starts.
Okay.
But
that's fine. That's fine. Then I'm just going to fight straight up. You're straight up. That's cool. I thought I could do it, and I gave it a try, so that was my deal.
Well, I think if you were more familiar with this rule set, you would know. That's all. I mean, you can't be.
You're right about that.
You can't be expected to know everything.
And I don't have the. I went to the trove and couldn't get it all, but I get what you're saying.
So see, if you fight with a weapon in each hand, there's a penalty associated with that. But
yeah, I don't do that.
If you take two weapon fighting style,
yeah,
then it reduces that penalty. If you take ambidextrous,
Nathan is a two-weapon fighter. I'm a shield and weapon fighter. That's why I get the better armor class bonus. Yeah.
So, or if you have like two attacks in a round, you could certainly use the shield with no penalty, because it would just be another attack. Holy shit, look what the cat drug in.
Oh! Yes, character, Randy.
Alright, so, Jason, I will allow you to attempt to block one of the attacks, but there's going to be a minus just so you get to try.
Okay, if it's the thing is, I was just trying to try that. If that's not going to work, I'm just going to go straight with the normal fighting.
Alright, so, let's go with the first 5.
I killed 2 of them.
I stepped on one.
I killed 4. I killed 2 of them. Me and the horse, he killed 1 each.
Alright, does an armor class of 7 hit you?
No.
Does a 6?
Not now. I got a shield now.
Does a 2?
Yes.
Alright. So out of the 5 that you can't block, you take 6 points of damage.
Dang it.
And then with the last attack, and I will read you the block from the book here so you know how that works. Okay. When you try to block an attack, you make a normal attack roll against armor class 4. Your opponent makes a normal attack roll against your armor class. And the strike is blocked with the lower armor class hit. So
Our armor class right now is 2.
so you got to at least hit armor class 4, so roll that first.
That shouldn't be very difficult. Yeah, I hit armor class of 3.
Okay, so you hit an armor class of 3? Okay, so this guy has to roll a well, whatever your armor class is, I guess. Well, I'm rolling to hit, so yeah. So if it hits you because you blocked a 3, but your armor class is a 2, so it's not going to matter. And he rolls a 5 and misses horribly. So anyway, so that's how blocks work. So if the character announces her block before initiative is rolled, she can block an attack even if it beats her action phase. If she decides to wait, she can block attacks in her action phase or later. Blocking is an excellent attack for characters with multiple attacks to use against characters or monsters with only one attack. So basically what that means is if you say, yeah, I'm using one of my things as a block, even if they win initiative, you can block their first attack. So that's kind of cool. Okay, and I got to piss again, so hold on.
I'm right now I'm going to trample these fuckers to the dirt.
Yeah. I'm drinking plenty of water.
I can hear you, Daryl.
I'm drinking plenty of water. Nice, that's good. Staying out. Randy, did you get your leak fixed?
Yep, I'm just heading home right now.
Wow, we've been taking a beat, dude.
Yeah, I hear
Not be
you're
proud.
handed your dead character here shortly.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mess.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's fighting his way out right now. This asshole ran. Damn you, sir. Damn you. And you turtled up. Get up. Stand up, Randy. Get up on the fight.
Well, my character's background, he doesn't run from a fight.
He didn't.
It started off when you got to your equipment, and then you huddled up because whatever. I
You were
started
surrounded.
by not fighting and standing, then I whistled for my horse, and now I'm like, I can stomp these people in the dirt.
We got surprised and surrounded.
All
And
right.
he's surrounded right now. Yeah, I'm totally surrounded by people, and I'm just gonna kill.
Okay, so
I will not surrender.
Boris, it's your. Oh no, you were in the surprise round, so yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the end of the round. Guy, how you looking?
I'm about half and half, but I have a plan.
All right. Okay. Next round.
I'm not gonna be a slave, if that's what you want to know.
Next round. Actions. Boris.
Parlay.
All right. Guy.
Do I know the general direction where the guy was talking before?
Yeah.
I charge, I push, I move, I just start killing people in front of me to get that way.
Okay.
I attack.
Roll initiative. Boris.
One again.
All right. So your side is sped up. All right. So, Boris, you're parlaying. What do you want to talk about?
You should not be killing me. That's it. That's all I got.
You have a whole round to talk if you want or have a conversation. So you say that, and I don't know if you're expecting a response or not, but the bird just flies with the sound of flapping giant wings, and then it goes ahead and continues to squeeze you, and you're already there, so...
And I've got some serious wounds. I'm thinking that's what, 2 or 3 more points?
At least 2. Okay. Does a hit of an armor class of 3 hit you?
Yes.
Alright, so only one of the claws does any more damage this round. But you do take 6 points of damage. Boris, how are you looking?
I'm bleeding profusely from several large wounds in the initial melee. I've got a claw digging into my rib on one side that's starting to draw blood, and I'm having a hard time breathing. And I'm still holding on to my axes, but I'm dangling from this bird's claw, just looking down wide-eyed at the forest below me. And I'm bewildered, and I'm very unhealthy. I'm getting pale.
All right. Okay. So, Guy, it's your turn.
Like I said, I'm killing everything in front of me, and my objective is to get to that guy who was talking.
So take your first attack on one of these soldiers.
Armor class -3.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
Oh, come on, baby. 5 points. Maximum damage.
All right, so that's another one that's down. You only have 5 around you now.
Whack!
And now it's the horse's turn.
Come on, baby. Armor class 4.
Armor class 4 is a hit. Another
Was
hoof.
it a D6 plus 1?
Just a D6.
Just a D6. 3 points.
All right. You might want to take your second hoof on the same guy.
Whack! I'll do it again. Armor class 0.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
5 points.
All right, there's another one down from you. So you still have 4 on you.
So the horse killed him with 2 tramples.
Okay. So then the horse will get to move at the end of the round. All right. So 4 attacks. Jason, I need you to roll 2d8 and then add 2 to that.
$13.
All right. Your horse has 13 hit points.
Don't kill my horse.
All 4 are going after this fucking horse. Because that is
Man, I'm
obvious.
going to kill him.
That's obviously the key to you escaping. So,
Bastard.
it would have been nice if you would have announced your block ahead of time, but you didn't. So, here we go.
I gotta kill the leader. That's actually what my script says to do. Charge the person.
And you know what the armor class is of this horse?
I'm gonna say it's 6.
I will tell you what it is. It is... No, I won't.
6 or 7.
I like 6. That sounds
Armor
right.
class of 7. You are correct. Okay. So the horse
With
got
Barbie?
the horse got hit once for a whopping 1 point of damage.
Yay!
All right. And now at the end of the round, you want to attempt to move through this group towards the sound off in the distance. So, it gets to move half of its move, which is 18. So
Yeah, I thought it
nine,
was 16, but
so
okay.
9 squares, and as it moves through 2 squares, 2 guys, they only 2 more attacks of opportunity before the either moving out of the way or trampling happens. So the first one hits an armor class of 8. That's a miss by 1, just barely. The second one, that is another miss. All right.
Yay!
So now what you have to do for the horse is you move them out of the way, and they get to, I think I just read this, save versus paralyzation, right? And that will... Okay. Okay, after let's roll a successful saving throw. Okay, so they need a that. And they both fail. So they're both knocked down. And then you get to roll 2 attacks of opportunity on them.
Me or the horse, or both of us.
The horse. So the horse has a THAC0 of 17. No, where is it?
You said 17 before.
19, my bad. It's a medium war horse.
Okay.
19, and then they have plus, and then no modifiers apply. So roll the hit armor class of 19, or hit armor.
Are they prone?
Yeah, but it says right here, even though the defender is prone, no modifiers apply. Trampling is an afterthought. So in other words, the horse isn't standing there going, I'm making wine and stomping down. It's just walking, moving through. So roll your D20.
Armor class 2. And armor class 2.
Yeah. That's a hit. So roll a D4 twice, but give me each separate number.
1 and 4.
All right, so
Okay,
as
D4, gotta love it.
as you give the horse the nudge to get it to start moving, as it goes forward, it kind of like knocks one down and then kind of like stomps on its wrist, but the greave kind of keeps it from snapping the bone. He's just like, ah! But the second guy, it ends up actually kicking him in the face with its back hoof, killing him. Okay. And then you move 9 squares towards the thing. You're just kind of going in a general direction. So
Yeah.
do you have any ability or thing which would allow you to find something that you haven't seen and you've only heard?
I don't really think so. I'm gonna check real quick.
I would guess you
No.
wouldn't, but you never know.
No.
So I
No.
need you to roll a D20.
Like I said, I was just heading towards the voice.
Correct.
17.
Okay. So you get over there, and as you look around, you see like more enemies, but no one necessarily that stands out as far as dressed in a manner which would make them seem like they're the commander. Okay, and you notice that several of them are loading up spears to attack you from over there. Whether they charge in formation or they throw them, you're not sure.
Did they have a morale check because I just busted through a bunch of these people?
Well, if they did, I wouldn't tell you.
Because I'm making myself a hellfire. Basically, I'm like, I'm gonna kill all of you.
All right. So,
in true Boris form, I'm gonna kill all of you.
at the end of the round, the soldiers that you saw that I just described, they attack. And there's like 20 more. So, we have an armor class of 5 on you. No. Armor class of 1 and an armor class of 3. All right, so that's 1 hit. You got a natural 20, but 3 more miss. And the follow-up on the 20 is a miss. So that's 2 hits out of 8 so far. And basically what's happening here is that they're all throwing their pylons. Miss, 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 and a miss. 4 more misses. Damn. Woo! A miss, a miss, a miss.
And a mister.
Did you just assume my Jim?
And last one. Miss, a hit. Okay, so you got hit 3 times there, Yee.
I'm a tank, sir.
So, you take, and no chance of knockdown because these weapons can't roll a 7. You take a whopping 13 points of damage as these 20 pylons say, they all aimed at you, none of them aimed at the horse. How are you looking?
Idiot.
How are you looking, Dee?
I'm about 2/3.
2/3 down?
Yeah.
All right, and that's the end of the round. Next round. Action.
I begin resting.
Gee.
I'm getting out of there as fast as I can.
Okay. Roll initiative. Gee.
Standing around and fighting these people, I'll just die. That's dumb.
Pretty much. Beat a 1. A 3. So they are sped up. So, something that's nice about the Romans that they also had besides their pylons were actual darts. And they're going to whip those bad boys out and go flip, 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 flip on you.
Like blowgun darts
No,
or jars?
like, yeah, jarts.
Yeah, the pylons were made to, like, stick in the enemy's shields and weigh them down.
All right, maybe pylon was the wrong word. They have javelins. That was the one. They throw the javelins before they enter into melee. So my bad. But they do.
Pylons, that's the same thing.
I rolled the
When
same
pylons,
damage
like I
for
said,
a.
they were designed, they were
Yeah.
heavy. They were designed to stick in the other guy's shield and just weigh the shield down. And finally, they just throw the shield away. That was the point.
Okay, so they get their darts and they start throwing them at you. Ping, 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 ping. Ow! All right. So.
Coward!
Miss. Natural 20. Explodes. Nope. So you take.
Right.
Where's my little D3 at? There it is.
Yay!
You take 1 point of damage. Cut it out. One hits for 3 points of damage.
Ow!
Natural 20. Nope. For 2 points of damage.
Ah!
18 and nope. 2 points of damage. And last dart. They all miss. Daryl, you rest and try to maintain your whatever. The beast senses that and does not rip into your flesh anymore, just maintains the hold. But at the end of the round, you do lose the bleeding damage as before. Guy, it is now,
Running out of my mouth and my back.
it is now your turn.
I'm getting away from there as fast as I can.
All right, so
Ha!
you
As dribble!
do you ride through the soldiers, or do you turn and attempt to find a way that appears at this time to be clear?
I think the way that I just busted through is clear of people, and I'm gonna rate Hasdrubal, reins up on 2 legs, spins around, digs into the dirt, and kicks off, and I'm hugging the horse close as I can. Go, Hasdrubal, go!
Okay, so
Back the way I came, yeah.
back the way you came. Okay, very good. So you turn the horse around, and you go to ride away. Yes, and let's let Paco make a morale roll here, because this
I'm
would
Paco. Sorry,
certainly qualify.
man.
And he fails, and he calls out, "Gee, don't leave me! Don't leave me!"
I gotta break free of these people around me.
All right,
I'll be
so
back. Oh.
as
They're on you now.
as you break free from this initial surprise attack, the forest opens, and you see before you a beach, probably 50 men, soldiers, 3 small flat-bottom boats on the beach, and a large tri-masted ship out in the waters.
God's breath.
And then you hear shouts from behind you, "Ah, blah, 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 blah," and the guys are like, "Whoa." So, here's what you're looking at. You can turn around, you can try to skirt by these guys on the beach, or you can attempt to get through the forest at the speed that a horse attempting to get through the forest can move, which is not galloping at all. And when I say forest, I mean the forest like the DM has described previously, even though your character is unfamiliar with the forest.
Boris.
In the woods, Hester. In the woods.
So you kind of turn around and go back in. And at that point, you're met with what could possibly be an escape route to your left, but you got to get there before the soldiers cut you off. Roll initiative.
A 4.
All right, beat a 7. So
A
you
4.
did. You beat a 4. Unfortunately, soldiers on foot go first.
I can still bust through them.
And they move and form up a formation blocking your escape route. Do you attempt to overrun and charge them down.
How many are there?
With a quick glance, you would guess 20.
I nudged the horse to let me slide off. I draw the bastard sword, two-handed, and advance.
And as the drums and you come forward, armorless, bleeding, and battered against the seasoned elite forces of 4 hit point soldiers, but well armored and armed. You come.
Trained.
Do you charge them, or do you just walk up and meet them anime style?
I don't charge. I advance steadily. I'm like, who will die first?
All right. Roll initiative. Beat a 10. They're delayed. A 2. All right. So you go up there. They don't seem to think you're going to be super giant tough, so they don't make the turtle formation. But they do go ahead, spear and shield. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry, not
Face me.
not spear.
Who's your leader?
Gladius.
Come on.
Gladius.
Is this all you do? Face me. Face me now.
Gladius and
I
shield.
need arms. Face me now.
And you are in threat range. Go ahead and attack somebody.
I'll just whack down the first person I see, and I
Right.
get a +1 with the bastard sword.
This is like Brutus in Rome. If you ever saw that show.
Armor class 0.
That's a hit. Rodicus.
Let me check real quick for the bastard sword here, two-handed. Alright, let's see. Bastard sword. 2d8 plus 1?
No.
D2.
I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Hang on. Dang it.
Bastard sword. Says a D8 plus 2.
And two-handed?
Well, it doesn't say two-handed. Let me see if that makes a difference.
It basically becomes like a D10 or something. Yeah, bastard sword two-handed is basically a two-handed sword, but slightly less. Why am I not seeing the right thing here? Hang on.
Okay, according to weapons and armor that I'm looking at, one-handed it's a D8, and two-handed it's 2D4. But the knockdown die goes up to a D10.
So 2d4. So be it.
Plus your strength, if you have it. Or,
I don't think 15 is the strength bonus.
No, okay. But you are specialized, that's right. So you're going to be rolling 2d4 plus 2.
6 points.
You slay the first guy that attempts to take you on.
I just... Who? Who among you?
All right.
Fight me!
So they oblige. And I'm just going to make it where they're just going to come at you at waves. So 3 of them. Armor class of 3.
That will hit me now, yes.
All right. You take 5 points of dinkus. Next round, you would get 2 attacks. So roll initiative. Beat a 5.
I rolled an 8.
And a bastard sword has a speed factor of 6, so you go on average. Alright, so one moves up to take the dead one's place. Armor class of no higher than 8. That's a miss. Your turn.
2 attacks this round.
Correct.
I'm going to try to kill 2, just slash through 2 people at once.
That's not a thing, but go ahead.
All right. Armor class 5
Armor class 5 is...
and armor class 3.
You need to hit an armor class of 4, so... armor
I hit
class,
one of them.
You hit one of them. Roll Dinkus.
5.
You slay another one. Next round, roll initiative.
5.
Beat a 4, okay. You're going to need to roll a 1, basically, or me to roll a 10 for you to ever go first, so. Alright, this time we got an actual hit for 4 points of damage. Your turn.
Guy falls to one knee, bleeding profusely, struggles to his feet, and just slices the guy in front of him in half. Right down the middle. Armor class of -1.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
7 points.
You kill him. You have killed 3. Next round, roll initiative. Beat a 3. You gotta roll a 1.
Nope.
Alright. Armor class of 3, and that's it. 1 hit. A faceless, nameless Akireman, even though he does have a face, it's dark and he's got a beard, hits you for 2 points as he slashes you across the back of your leg. Your turn.
He's obviously, blood is coming out of his mouth. He's covered in wounds. He holds his sword up with 2 hands and he says, "You will all die! All of you!" And I just cleave to the first person in front of me. Armor class -3.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
6 points.
You slash this fucker from his neck, and it bites down deep, and as it's stopped by the banded mail underneath his chin, you move forward, and with a sickening goes through the back, and you pull it back out. Next round, roll initiative. As another Akireman moves up to take his place.
6.
20! Miss. Miss. Explosion! Nothing. You take 1 point of Dinkus.
You're crazy! Oh my god!
Your turn.
I wade into them now. I just wade into them. Ah! Armor class 0.
That's a hit. Roll Dinkus.
Ooh, 8 points.
Oh, that one you stick right where between the males, and it goes in, and you hear it snap through a rib, and then you keep pushing, and it goes through, and the sickening sound, and then you pull it out, and it's like blah, 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 and he falls down. Ah! Roll initiative.
Cowards!
Next round. Beat a 4.
Come on, baby. Nope.
Another one moves up to take his place. Armor class 3. That's a hit. Guy. 5 points of damage.
I collapse.
And as the sight leaves your eyes and you just collapse and fall over, you see a pair of sandaled feet walk towards your face, and that same voice that you heard, that you were trying to find, you hear, "He will do well in the mines." And then you pass out, and that is where we will stop tonight's game.
Ah! We took a beat. I I fought to the death, sir.
You did some damage. But that was fun. But now we gotta be slaves. Man.
I know, bummer, right?
I know. What the fuck?
I know.
Maybe I'll find my
I think the
sister.
weird hippies are going to rescue us, frankly.
It's almost like this part has kind of already happened, like the Mandalorian when you get to the fucking next 3 Star Wars. Oh, it's
Spoiler.
you gotta play out the parts that you don't get to see on screen.
No, I think we did fun tonight. I'm sorry Randy couldn't be part of it. Dang it. I think we would have fought our way out if Randy'd been there today.
Well, cop rolled for him.
I know.
I rolled like shit tonight. Your guys are getting 20.
I mean,
At the same time, they weren't exploding, so I was getting lucky as well as rolling like shit. The one right off the bat.
you balanced out.
Yeah, you should have just swallowed that motherfucker right then.
Yeah. Damn, I should have used that 37. Oh, he doesn't have one.
Come on now. Did I kill like 10 people or what?
All right, so if you all
I killed a shitload of these bastards.
if you all are good with the Wednesday night jam, then that's what we'll go with for the foreseeable future. And
Is that because football?
it is.
All right, go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs and go Packers. That's right. So, any final thoughts from my wonderful gamers?
Randy, hydrate. We'll see you next time, baby.
Yep, I expected to come out like a knight, and I went out like a knight, so I'm happy.
All right, and as far as the DM concerned, always a good time hanging out, make believe with your friends. So, until next Wednesday, good night.
Thank you.
Good night, Facebook. Good night, Internet, YouTube, whoever else. Thanks all one of you for watching.